beginning. 3, 2, 1. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have two people with us today. One, the great and feared Nomad, slayer of the left, and he who shouts louder than anybody else. And we have Sharati. Yeah, okay, that's all I'm really saying about her. Welcome, everyone.
Good morning. Is that all you're going to say, Sharati? You're not going to say anything? You're not going to jump on this?
To unmute.
I don't know what that was.
I said I had to unmute first.
Oh.
Yes.
See,
Dude, it's old age. It's old age.
Already.
She doesn't know what she's doing. She's older than Biden. Come on.
Too many.
Oh, you want to come after me already? You live in a goddamn communist country.
It's the person who lives. Sorry, MC, you're going to lose now. All right. Says the person who lives in Michiganistan. Do you really want to go there, hon?
The bitch that rules over my little Michiganistan, as you constantly call it. I do too, by the way. Will be out come this new election. I guarantee it because the whole state hates the bitch.
Yeah. This is the same person that you like to call Hitler. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I call her Hitler to her Twitter site. And
awesome.
the AG is going to be out too because she claims herself to be a Jewish lesbian, and I'll call her that to her damn Twitter.
Okay, well, good luck to her.
It's not that I can't say anything. I just don't care.
No, don't blame you.
I'll be honest with you. When she talks about having the mute on, I know that it's just a switch somewhere that she's trying to figure on top of her head to press the button and go back to life.
Oh, bite my left tit, you ass.
Anyway.
To you online. Yeah.
We have stories, and the first story is a story that you commented on initially, and I would like the audience to actually visit this with you. All right. Let's see here. We'll put it up. Give me a second here.
We have a call.
This. I need to get Sharati's thing so we can put her up here too, by the way. UK sculpture. UK sculpture by controversial artist attacked with a hammer.
Yeah.
I will admit that this guy went out of his way to do this. He got a ladder and everything to go after the statue. Okay? It wasn't just randomly on the street. Police on Wednesday cordoned off an area outside the BBC's broadcasting house in central London after a man was spotted scaling the building. Now, to me, scaling the building means, he's doing the Spider-Man thing of the building, but that's, or like little pitons and things like that. I mean, scaling isn't getting on a ladder, in my opinion. but that's okay. Right?
Fair.
And using a hammer to attack a statue by a controversial sculptor, Eric Gill. Officers and ambulance workers rushed to the scene. Why were the ambulance workers rushing to the scene?
I think that in case he had COVID. I mean, in case he fell.
MC, check your Discord. I sent you a picture of Lady Death in the American flag.
Carl has indicated you might want to adjust your volume, sir. Apparently it's quite quiet.
Oh, is it?
Apparently, yes.
Well, we can rectify that right now. How's that?
Oh, stop being subtle, MC. Sorry, Nomad.
There is no MC. There's only Nomad. All right. Officers and ambulance workers rushed to the scene after receiving reports that a man had used a ladder to reach the 10-foot tall sculpture Above the building's front entrance, the sculpture depicting Ariel and Prospero from Shakespeare's play The Tempest. Really?
Yep.
Was installed in the 1930s. It was created by Gill, a prominent British artist who died in 1940. His diaries were published decades after his death, revealed that he sexually abused his daughters and the family dog.
Get that last one again, because I think that's the one that people really need to hear.
His diaries, which were published decades after his death, surprise, surprise, all right, revealed that he sexually abused his daughters and the family dog. Was that good enough?
That's good. You might want, I know it probably doesn't say it there, but you might want to point out that when it comes to picking your font on your computer, Gil, as his name, is actually part of one of the fonts used. You may be using the font of a man who molests dogs. Just saying.
Now, you had an interesting take on it when you first read this story. So
yes, I did.
Why don't you express that to the audience?
Certainly. Well, assuming that this man wasn't reacting to the fact that the creator of the statue is a disgusting pervert and deserves to burn in the fiery pits of hell, I'm actually wondering if he was actually doing it as some sort of reaction to the fact it's outside the BBC. And just so as it's been stated, defund the BBC. The BBC is evil.
Are you sure about that? You don't want to take that back or anything? You're not being a little hyperbolic or anything?
No. The BBC sucks. It's evil. It's wrong. And to be honest, I think it's actually somehow, I have no idea how it's doing this, but somehow I actually think it's more left than your government.
It's more left than the government, huh?
Than your government. That's the point.
Than my government. Okay. Now, can I ask a question here?
Yes, sir.
Considering the proclivities of this gentleman, considering the revelations that repeatedly pour out of the BBC, this kind of fits, doesn't it? Or am I just missing something here?
Well, without saying it out loud, because I'm not that sort of guy, but I definitely think he could fit on CNN. Don't you agree?
I definitely part of that. I think he works well, or this would work well for a New York governor spot as well. If you really want to know the truth, or California for that matter.
Yep.
But I'm just saying, folks. I'm not trying to make any assessments here. I'm just pointing out the fact that there are issues here.
Yeah.
That's all.
MC, I've sent you a image for Shirat. Sorry, Nomad. I've sent you an image for Shirati's icon if you wish to put it up. It's in your DMs.
Yeah, it'll take a bit for me to do.
He got all three of them.
Oh, okay, cool.
I can send them to you too.
I will put it up, but it probably won't be right now because doing so is a little bit more difficult than just.
Absolutely no problem, mate. I'm just letting you know it's in there. That was all.
But I do want to put her name up here. I mean, she's gonna show up at the show up at the party. Welcome to the party, pal.
Oh yeah. The quarterback is toast.
And the quarterback is toast. Yes. Ready for the next?
Story? Actually, you know what? I'm going to break your train of thought.
Oh,
okay. Yes, I am. Possibly. I would like your opinion on something. Mm-hmm. Is that, or is it not, a Christmas movie?
It, in my opinion, is not a Christmas movie. Close.
Okay. Thank you.
It is much closer than people think, but because there are certain themes, but the overall theme of the movie is not Christmas. That's the thing to remember.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to have your opinion. Die Hard 1.
Yes, it is a Christmas movie.
Here we go.
And she's wrong, which is not a surprise. I mean,
You are absolutely wrong.
It is a
The
female.
whole
It's not. It's
theme
not.
of it is Christmas.
No, the whole thing is not Christmas.
It takes place during a Christmas party.
Okay, that is not a Christmas theme. All right, especially a party of debauchery. Okay, where people are doing lines of cokes and screwing in the offices here and there. I'm sorry, that's not Christmas. Maybe it is to you.
During a Christmas party on Christmas
Can you imagine?
Eve?
This is the ghost of Christmas past. Look at this one, guys. Just putting it out there, folks.
He's meant to go get his wife on Christmas Eve at a Christmas business party.
Yeah, it's not Christmas theme. That is not a Christmas theme. And that's how I define it. Whether you're into some cocktail freaking mentality, define it another way, I can't help that.
In that case, Home Alone is not a Christmas movie.
Fair. Before we go further, Matt has made a point. Coke equals snow equals Christmas. Yeah, I'd love to disagree, but he is right.
I guess that is the kind of only snow you're going to get in LA, right? Is that what you're trying to say here?
Apparently, even Carl agrees that it is a Christmas movie.
And more people are wrong. This doesn't surprise me considering the state of society today.
Sorry for derailing it in that manner, but it did have to be asked.
On to the next story.
Merry fucking Christmas to you too.
Illinois judge who reversed teen's sexual assault conviction removed from criminal cases. Why did you remove him from the bench? Okay. Why isn't this guy completely removed? An Illinois judge who sparked outrage after reversing an 18-year-old man's sexual assault conviction last week has been removed from handling criminal cases. It's a step in the right direction, but you need to fire this guy, folks. Adams County Judge Robert Adrian was reassigned to civil matters such as small claims and probate dockets in an administrative order issued Thursday by Chief Judge Frank McCartney of the 8th Judicial Circuit, according to the Quincy Herald-Whig. It came after Adrian faced heat for tossing out a conviction of Drew Clinton, who was found guilty of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old girl at a graduation party last May. The judge issued a stunning reversal during Clinton's January 3rd sentencing hearing, saying that almost 5 months of the teen has been spent in county jail. That's plenty of punishment. Clinton had faced mandatory minimum sentence of 4 years.
He sounds like a lovely guy, doesn't he?
Can we bring public hangings?
Sorry, from what?
Can we bring back public hangings?
Ooh, I like it.
The judge for the judge. Just put this out there. The judge presided over a 3-day bench trial in. That's a little bit interesting. In October, finding Clinton guilty of 1 of 3 sexual assault charges. All right. He said he reversed the conviction in order to avoid an appeal that he believed would be successful, therefore determining that the prosecutors had failed to prove their case. In other words, this did not go to a jury trial. For some reason, he asked for a judicial trial. All right. And in some states, you can ask, you always have the option of having a jury trial, but you can ask to have the trial done by judges. All right, in some states.
Okay.
Just so people understand that, but I don't know what the rationale here was. The prosecutor in the case, Anita Rodriguez, said that she had never seen a judge reverse a ruling like this and was concerned about how it would affect the victim. Adrian's decision drew immediate backlash from advocates for sexual assault survivors and compelled the victim to go public, emotionally recalling the horrifying moment when she woke up to being sexually assaulted. I woke up at my friend's place with a pillow over my face so I couldn't be heard, and Drew was inside me, said Cameron Vaughn on Tuesday at WGEM reported. I asked him to stop multiple times, and he wouldn't. I finally got off the couch and pushed him off me, and he jumped up and started playing video games as if nothing had happened. Okay. Now, maybe this happened. Right? I'm not going to deny that it's not a possibility. It's also possible she's lying.
That was the immediate thought that came to my head. Didn't she? Did she immediately call the police? What the hell's going on here? There's some holes in the story.
Yeah.
Start calling the police. Did she pick up a bottle and smack it over the back of his head? That'd be my fault. Her words were, and I quote, she sat down and started playing the computer. I'm sorry, bottle, head. And you keep swinging till the bottle breaks, or the head does, whichever one comes first.
Okay, if it's your first time, you're gonna hurt. Literally, you are. So, I'm not saying it was her first time.
Mm-hmm.
But if it was, that's physically gonna hurt you, and you're not gonna move properly.
No, I'm not saying. Like I said, this could be what happened could be true. My problem with this is though, you're in a situation where it's a he said she said thing. All right, and I'm sorry when you're in that situation. She has no more credibility than he does. How did you convict him to start with? Now, I'm not saying that this didn't happen exactly the way she said it. I'm not even trying to indicate that. I'm saying from a court of law perspective, all right, how did you even convict him? A 3-judge panel, how did you convict him? You guys should know the law. Now, all that being said, look, Judge, I don't care if the appeal court was going to overview it. That's their job, not yours, dude. Okay, you need to go because you're just as bad as they were. You're taking the law in your hands just as much as they were.
Yeah.
All right, that was a conviction. You don't just walk in there and go, you know what? I think this was decided wrong, and on my own recognizance, he spent enough time in jail. It don't work that way. That's not how the law works.
Yeah. Hey, Batman.
Why I said there was holes in her story, and why I think she should have called the cops. Because if in fact there... shut the fuck up, Batman.
But no. You understand do you understand my point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty clear here that the issue. All right. And I'm going to try something here real quick. You'll see if I can get Sherardy up here. Mm-hmm. It's going to take me a little bit here, but it's pretty obvious to me that this case should have been determined as something completely different. Okay. I'm not trying to be a dick about things, but the legal standard of a woman should always be believed is nonsensical. All right, I'm not saying that the woman is lying. All right, I'm just saying that the fact that when you default that to the woman should be believed, you're doing a disservice to everybody. Okay, you're doing a disservice especially to the law itself.
The law, yeah.
Yes.
And so
not just the law, but to justice, to society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the community.
Right. So it's not that I think that nothing happened to this girl or anything else, right? But I'll be honest with you. Where's her father?
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but her father should have come out there with a tire iron and beat the holy hell out of this guy. Just putting it out there.
See my statement. See my statement about bottle and back of head. We're going back to that as a base concept.
I mean, Sherardi asked me earlier if I taught my girls to defend themselves, which is yes, I did. But the thing is, here's an example.
That's why you need two parents. A mother's responsible for the nurturing, for teaching compassion and stuff. A father's responsible for the child's safety and discipline.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, like I said, I don't know all the aspects of this case and so forth, but from what I can see so far, it's a he said, she said thing. You had no evidence of this. All right. I'm sorry, but you this idea, I understand, the differences between men and women and the vulnerabilities that entails. But the reality is you can't just go around convicting people, right? Just because you think that they're guilty, all right, when you can't prove it.
Right.
Okay, and you can't tell me it's unreasonable to assume that she lied. All right?
My mind, if there's no evidence, that it should be thrown out.
Right, and well, that's what I'm saying. At that point, well, it's not that it shouldn't be. It should never have gone to trial. They should have. If this goes into something like this, it shouldn't even go to trial, in my opinion.
Once over, that would be the case.
Right. I mean, this is of course this is the state of our society. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, just like
Fulton's raising a good point there. Don't forget about the guy. If he had a reputation, it's now destroyed.
True.
Even if he's found innocent.
Well, if he had a good reputation, it's destroyed.
Yeah. Even if he's found innocent, he's still lost that reputation.
If he has a CNN reputation, it's a resume enhancement. But that's a separate issue.
Oh, you mean the Communist News Network?
Yeah.
He now has a new job.
He'll be right up there with frickin' David Hogg.
Yeah.
We all know David Hogg's trying to get off Greta Thunberg.
What?
Well, CNN lost interest in Greta Thunberg as soon as she turned 18, as Jenson sent me a interesting picture.
That's true. I will admit that is true. Right.
I thought they lost interest with Greta Thunberg as soon as she had started to shave.
Anyway, on to the next story.
Oh my God! Just seen this.
Sex scenes shot at the Acropolis caused stir in Greece. A video of lurid sex scenes shot at the Acropolis in the midst of visitors has caused a fervor, in Greece, with authorities investigating the incident. The Ministry of Culture has launched an investigation following the online release of a short film showing two men having sex at the ancient Acropolis in Athens.
Well, it is Greece, isn't it? I mean, that's where it is.
Knew it'd be two guys. I just sensed it.
Right?
The
36-minute video entitled Ex Parthenon, all right, a wordplay on Parthenon, meaning deflowering in Greek, all right, was first shown at the Aristotle University of Thessalonica in mid-December.
Wow.
Okay, but like I said, I mean, Greece is where homosexuality was practically invented.
Pretty much.
I'm not going to say that, but I will make the comment of, why are you showing this film in university?
Because they're Greek.
As Sean said, they're upset because two guys went Greek.
Yeah.
And the cultural ministry is upset about this. You know what the cultural ministry is upset about it? It's not that they're upset about the film. They're upset that they didn't get their cut.
It's the Greek hypocrisy, as Falcon points out.
Yeah.
Visitors to the archaeological site can be seen walking close by. Anyway. I will admit that if I'm trying to visit Greece, I'm not going to the Parthenon to take lurid pictures. That's not high on my list. Right?
Yeah, that's the thing in Greece. If you're a tourist, you've got to worry about two things: having your wallet stolen and having your ass virginity stolen.
Well, that's a disturbing thing. He may not be wrong.
No. Back to the judge's theme, however.
Yes.
Judge gives Kentucky prison guard convicted of sexual assault choice of army or jail.
Mm-hmm.
He's convicted of sexual assault. He should just get a choice of jail or jail.
A Kentucky judge has given a jail guard convicted of sexually assaulting a female inmate two options: join the army or go straight to jail. Brandon Scott Price, 28, was given the choice during his sentencing hearing in Franklin Circuit Court last week. All right, Judge Thomas Wingate, there's another one for you, folks, gave Price, who is an Army veteran, a 12-month sentence that is probated for 2 years and ordered him to re-enlist in the U.S. military within 30 days. If you don't enroll within 30 days, you can report to Franklin County Regional Jail, the judge told him. You are under the gun now, young man. You got to do it, all right? Price was originally charged with third-degree sodomy in connection with the 2019 jail attack, but he pled down to a lesser charge of second-degree assault.
I know why he's given a choice of army or jail. It's because he knows if he sends him to the army, it's going to be hell for him, right? But if he sends him to jail,
what makes you think
he's got more boyfriend.
What makes you think the army is going to even accept this guy?
Nomad. If he sends him to jail, that's just going to be a sex camp for him.
Yeah. If you're getting a huge break, said the judge. You made a terrible mistake, which I know personally cost the county money. Really? You don't think there was a lawsuit? Really? Okay.
Sean's got a good idea. Let him join the army as a target dummy, but I won't go one better. I let him go one. I think he should go one better. Let him join the army as a bayonet dummy.
All right. Even if Price does re-enlist in the military, it wasn't immediately clear if he'd be accepted given his conviction. The charges were brought against Price after a female inmate filed a lawsuit that alleged he sexually assaulted her when he was a guard in the Franklin County Regional Jail in January of 2019. Price assaulted her as he was transporting the inmate to a nearby medical facility to receive treatment for her high blood pressure. Yeah, this will lower the blood pressure. Let me rape you. That'll lower it.
Yeah. That's why once over, female prisons only had female guards.
He took her to the hospital. Okay, this is a problem though. He took her to the hospital alone, which is a violation of jail policy. Okay, should be fired for that. All right, stayed with her for 5 hours, during which time he made sexually charged comments. When Price was driving the inmate back to the jail, after undergoing treatment, okay, so he waited, all right, until she was on drugs, all right, pulled off onto a side road and asked her to perform oral sex in exchange for an early release. This lawsuit stated. Okay, so we're back to another...
An early release.
I don't... Yeah. Don't go there! Do not go there!
Too late. I just say the words.
Oh, I tried.
Just want to say, in my opinion, they're actually suggesting he joins the wrong group. You would have thought joining the Navy would have suited him so much more.
Yeah, because joining the Navy, you'd feel a man.
Exactly.
That's probably true. But okay, but the problem still exists, right? Which is, once again, and I know people aren't going to like this, but the problem is, how do you know? It's a he said, she said thing. How did you convict her? Right? Now,
well, if he's convicted, there must have been evidence.
What evidence? They charged him after she brought a lawsuit against the jail.
It says he was convicted.
I know it says he was convicted. This is the problem.
You can't convict somebody without evidence, though.
Oh, yes, you can.
Okay, you can't give it somebody. Oh, hold on.
Batman, it happens all the time. And
yeah,
in this instance, because she was in jail, unless she directly went to the nurse's station in the jail and asked for a mouth swab and told them exactly what happened.
This was after he was on his way back, according to this story.
Yeah, she was still in jail, and there are nurses stations in jail.
I don't know.
It's true.
Well, though this was a county jail, so maybe not.
I've been in a county jail. There
might be,
good.
All right, but I'm not going to say that that's true of every place, especially in nowhere's land, Kentucky. Who knows what kind of county jail that is?
I'm surprised there are actually jails there.
But
no, it's in Kentucky. You take a look at that picture and you tell me that bloke doesn't look like he comes from Kentucky. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be horrible, but he really does.
Yeah, he looks like his parents are his father, brother, and mother, sister.
Yeah, and that's the same person. That's the scary thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a sad state of affairs.
He doesn't look like he's got two brain cells that are up together.
That's true.
No.
He doesn't. All right.
And considering it was just a blowjob, she could have had a mouth swab done to at least get potential particles of his DNA out of her mouth.
Yeah, agree. It really does depend whether or not she actually got in touch with any sort of recent, to the event. If she didn't say anything for a couple of days, then good luck.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. She's a prisoner. I'm not sure what she could have done to begin with, and I understand the damage that and so forth in the prior. The guy should be fired for breaking protocol to begin with. Right?
Yeah.
Transporting a prisoner alone is already a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, for a variety of reasons, even if it's not a sexual thing, there's a lot of reasons why you're not supposed to transport prisoners like this. To me, I'll be honest with you, just from the facts that are presented there, I think that this was a sexual rendezvous between the two of them. All right, just from the way the facts are presented, this sounds more less like a rape necessarily than a situation where they wanted to have a hot, steamy little thing, and she, of course, right, you gave her the opportunity to take advantage of it, and she did. Now, that doesn't mean it didn't happen.
He's done something. Oh no, yeah.
Well, no, she's in jail. She's looking to get out of jail. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
that's not going to get her out of jail.
This could get her easily. This could easily. This easily could lead to her being released from jail because they. Oh heck yes! Because if they say that they convicted the guy. You got to remember they said he did it. All right. At that point, she's been abused in jail. All right. She has a reason for them to come back and say time served, and they would let her go.
Yep.
I don't think they would over here.
This is
jail.
Once again, this is Kentucky. Okay, this is the land of Candid. Candid Lynn. That's not a negative toward Candid. All right, but she could tell you. I guarantee you, she'll tell you. There's all sorts of things that happen in Kentucky.
Yeah. We've all heard of Kentucky. It doesn't have a gene pool. It has a gene puddle.
Yes. She won't deny that
Candace
either.
also thinks that she's better than everyone because she knows all about the law. So
that's not why she thinks she's better than everyone else. She is. You got to remember, she's part of the aristocracy set down there. Okay.
She can actually remember her own name.
You listen. Let her talk sometimes. You'll understand. She believes she's part of that aristocracy that still exists. I'm teasing you, Candid. Don't take it personally. It's a joke, honey. I have the opportunity to take the piss out.
That's it, right. You go and pass it, Jenson.
That's it. Americans in the middle and the Brits on the side.
Yep,
Get out of the way.
That's okay. We're surrounding you.
Speaking of the Brits,
Mm-hmm.
Transplant surgeon used an electric beam to burn his initials into a patient's organs. He just lost his medical license.
Yeah, that's classic, that dude.
Simon Bramhall finished transplanting the liver inside his patient in 2013 before going back for a final flourish. Bramhall, now 57, used an electric beam to burn the letters S and B into the organ he had just put into the patient. The doctor branded the unsuspected woman's new liver with his monogram, but another surgeon discovered the initials during a follow-up surgery when the organ failed about a week later. We don't know why. All right. On Monday, now this happened in 2013, folks. But on Monday, Bromhell lost his ability to practice medicine. All right. The liver transplant was at a hospital in Birmingham, England. Was one of two times the once respected doctor burned his initials into a patient's organ according to official disciplinary records.
Yeah, this is not the first time this has happened. By any stretch of the imagination.
Do you have to burn your initials into somebody's organ?
Our surgeons have done weirder stuff than that before.
Usually, just so it's stated, usually it's actually done into the bone. They will literally carve their either their initials or their icon or something into the bone. So, how do you know that you haven't been marked? Just remember this. All you people that have been operated on, you may well have been marked.
Why would you do that?
Why wouldn't you?
The reason an artist signs a painting.
Because I assume that if you're a doctor, I am assuming if you're a doctor, if you're a surgeon, you have the mentality of I'm trying to save the patient. All right. You're not going to, if you're going to damage the organ even more, it's less likely that the patient is saved. You're kind of, working against your stated reasoning here for being a surgeon, right?
You're not wrong there. That's why I made it clear that they actually usually done into bone, because in all fairness, there's not much you can really do to the bone when it comes to signing it that's going to cause harm, barring, of course, going John Hancock special. That's possible.
Sean in the chat there said, "Mommy, Uncle, Daddy touched me." These days, it's entirely possible for it to be, "Mommy, Uncle, Daddy touched me."
Oh my God.
Let's be fair. But nowadays, it's more like, "Mummy, Auntie, Grandma touched me." Let's be fair.
Yeah, I don't want to think about that.
I don't blame you.
Well, seeing as Grandma was a furry, it was the family dog, right? Isn't that how that works?
No, a furry is a human being who dresses up as an animal. In Kentucky, it's hard
are
to
you
tell
assuming that person's
or the family dog.
Are you assuming that person? You're assuming that person's gender and species. How dare you? That's a social construct.
You're a bunch of fucking cockroaches, and I hate you for it.
No, Nomad. Gender and species are not social constructs. The PTA is a social construct.
I'm just trying to play. Explain what their viewpoint.
I don't care.
Just trying to let the audience understand the situation.
Just so everybody knows, Nomad here isn't really American. He's just Australian who's good at accents.
Mm-hmm.
And on with the next story. And to the next story.
What was that,
the depravity of humanity.
I said he's definitely tearful.
Is blood in right now? Sorry, sweat and tears, but celebs from MGK, which I have no idea who that is, to Kourtney Kardashian, who I also don't know who that is, are all about blood now. On Tuesday, the king and queen of pop punk revival, a.k.a. our contemporary Jack and Sally, a.k.a. the dark fairy tale princess and weed personified, Machine Gun Kelly and Megan Fox, got engaged. Finally, a win for weird, hot people. But on Wednesday night, Fox revealed on Instagram that after she said yes, the couple took a far more serious step. They drank each other's blood. While some fans were reportedly horrified by the idea, zoom out and it's obvious that our sanguine romantics are simply doing what celebrities do best, staying on trend, because right now blood is in people. You people are insane.
Hold on. No. I'm sorry, Growback, but they're correct. Blood is in people.
Yes. I think you're supposed to put like an apostrophe or a comma in there to alter exactly what you said. But no, I do completely agree. And you know, you're not wrong. It is just seriously weird. But you are correct that drinking blood has actually become quite a fashionable thing. Hate to say it, and Dodge would love this, but the whole vampirism thing has really become disturbingly fashionable.
First of all,
they really want to transmit diseases.
How many times have you eaten black pudding, Jenson?
A couple of times. It's fucking awful. I hate it.
Stuff.
Yeah.
First of all, this apparently isn't even the first time Fox and MGK, Machine Gun Kelly, real name Colson Baker, have exchanged blood over the course of their relationship. On Valentine's Day of 2021, Fox gifted Baker a necklace with a drop of her own blood in it, which Baker then memorialized with a creative Instagram caption, "I wear your blood around my neck."
Yeah, nothing dodgy about that at all.
You people are insane.
This is another thing that happened at the end of the Roman Empire.
Yep.
Shit like this.
And so it's itself again.
I'm just going to suggest, Nomad, just going to suggest, next time you're having a chat with God, remind him about Sodom and Gomorrah and show him what we're up to. Okay?
Yeah, the entire planet's going to
go. Jenson's view. Bring on the Rock.
Oh, yeah.
And he's not on about Dwayne Johnson, people.
I don't know. You can launch him at the planet. I am more than happy if you do that.
Okay. Back to California.
What we'll do is we just get Nomad a trampoline. That'll do the job.
Don't be stupid. No trampoline could pick that up.
Thieves loot
Don't be silly.
Thieves loot freight trains in Los Angeles with impunity. Dozens of freight cars are broken into every day on Los Angeles' railway by thieves who take advantage of the train's stops to loot packages bought online, leaving thousands of gutted boxes and products that will never reach their destinations. According to the tags found Friday by the AFP team on a track near the city center, which is easily accessible from nearby streets, many major U.S. mail order and courier companies such as Amazon, Target, UPS, and FedEx are being hit by the thefts, which have exploded in recent months. The thieves wait until the long freight trains are immobilized on tracks and then climb onto the freight containers, whose locks are easy to break with the help of bolt cutters. Yeah, okay. They then help themselves to the parcels, ditching any products that are difficult to move or resell or are too cheap, such as COVID-19 test kits.
Transplant organs.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder nobody can get their damn COVID tests that they're so looking forward to.
In October 2021, the increase was 356% up from October 2020. 356% increase in theft on the rail cars. Sounds like they need to go back to the old days. Where you had the regulators riding the rails.
That would really make things exciting, though, wouldn't it?
Just a suggestion. Right? Just a suggestion.
Kit them up with firearms from the 1890s as well.
Now, I know
take your fucking arm off.
I know a lot of people are like, how can this be happening in LA? How is this possible? I know, Batman.
Earlier?
I know, Batman. You're asking this question. Just how can this happen? All right.
I'm not. I'm asking what. It's Leah. I'm asking how is this news?
All right. I know you're asking how. I know that you're asking that, Batman. I know you're being secret about it. And here's how. Pokemon Go caused 2 LA police officers to ignore a robbery in progress.
Yeah.
Everyone that's played Pokemon Go has probably at some point in their life played it when they shouldn't have. Maybe they pulled out their phone while they were at work and played a few rounds. Or they might have let you and left work a bit early to go play, but managed to sneak back in when nobody was the wiser as to what they were doing. The thing is, most people who have done this before were probably not police officers, and when they chose to step out of work, they were likely not ignoring calls of a robbery that's currently taking place. A freight train. No, don't gotta worry about that. No, there's nothing near the freight train. We gotta go over here.
It's out of our jurisdiction. Well, it won't be 2 minutes time.
This is central. This is central LA. They said that the trains are being stripped in central LA.
Yeah.
Right. If that
Berkey, we gotta move. Well, now, Hutch, I'm playing Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Hold on, it's a Pikachu.
Except in that article, they're looking for a Snorlax and a Togetic, and
She
that game
recognizes
is
it.
beyond the most annoying game ever. I hear the fucking music every time my kids open the damn game. It's so annoying. They run around my goddamn yard playing that game. I'm tired of it. I hate the game. It's irritating. And I wish it would die.
The people from Pokemon Go would be doing everybody a favor if they sit up there and place the Pokemon somewhere in central LA, like right around the train stations. Yeah. Just put it out there. They might be able to stop a lot of this.
I agree.
Do the city a solid. Whoever created this, do the city a solid, man. If you know the police are like roaming around with your Pokemon Go, lead the police to the crime scenes.
Yeah, so that put the phone like a likely suspect, and the phone identifies him as a Pokemon.
Except they'd still be too fucking busy playing with their phones, staring at their screen, and the robbers, who likely are armed, would still get the shot off first. The police officers would still be staring at their phones, not paying attention to what the fuck is going on around them, and die.
This still sounds like a win-win. Just put it out there.
Points being Sharati.
The bad guys would live, the police officers would die, so we'd still have assholes living, stupid people dying, and the world would go on in chaos.
So you'd basically improve the LA police force with Darwinism.
Yes, and what's more is you'd be able to hire younger people who, quite frankly, probably have no idea what the hell Pokemon Go is.
Oh, they do.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, children play it.
Yeah. The thing to remember is this: it's actually quite logical that it was the police that was doing this. After all, got to catch them all. I don't believe I did that.
But I think
And on to the next wonderful story. Back to Britain. Boris Johnson is toast. Tory fervor grows over Partygate as dozens of MPs issue public criticism of the PM and lash out at his Downing Street prats, right? With backbenchers revealing that they have been inundated with hundreds of angry emails from constituents.
That's what we've been calling him for a while now, but the Downing Street prat.
What's a prat?
It's another way of saying idiot. Someone you are unimpressed with.
Okay.
Or wanker.
Okay. Boris Johnson is facing mounting Tory backlash over Partygate today, with dozens of MPs issuing public criticism of the Prime Minister, as backbenchers branded Downing Street staff prats and told how they'd been inundated with angry emails from constituents calling for him to resign. The growing fervor comes amid claims that the Downing Street held wine time Fridays every week throughout the pandemic, which Johnson attended, urging aides to let off steam. Okay, you were talking about the Roman, the downfall of Rome. This sits right on with it as well.
Oh yes, definitely.
Oh, agree.
Okay.
I think the rod's setting when we give women the vote.
Don't.
I think that we have a serious situation here, folks, with Boris. Now, what you know what? I'm going to go quiet for a little bit, and I'll let you two Brits explain this whole situation to the people, please.
Before you two pipe up, what the fuck is the Tory party-wise?
Conservative.
Or it's supposed to be.
Yeah. I'll let that man go first. That way he can say what he wants to, then I'll say it. Go on, mate.
There's not much to say, is there? There's a bunch of fucking entitled, spoilt fucking bastards being entitled spoilt bastards.
Okay. Are you comfortable with that? Because I've got stuff to say.
Go on, then.
Okay.
But go on.
Okay. Right, this whole thing that's going on with the Tory government and the COVID issue is the biggest pile of horse crap you could possibly imagine. Our dear Queen, on the death of her husband at his funeral itself, was not allowed to be comforted by any of her family, and she had to sit alone. And while this is going on, Boris, screw you, Jack, I'm pouring booze down my throat, is off getting drunk and having fun with all of these people, and the ruler of our country is being forced to be alone at the funeral of her husband.
Well, apart from the ruler of our country, Pete, you're not wrong.
But he's still technically ruler.
No, she's head of state. There's a difference.
Do you know what? When you got a choice of either obeying her or obeying Boris Johnson, something tells me we're going back to a monarchy real damn fast.
Well, I've got a choice between obeying her or obeying Boris Johnson. I'm going back to bed.
I'm okay with that.
And I'm a royalist.
I'll be honest. Boris Johnson. All right, I'm not a Brit. It's up to you guys. How do you want to do things? But as screwed up as this whole.
What do you mean? What do you mean you don't want to tell us how to do things? You do this every bloody week.
In this case, I'm not trying to tell the British how to run their own thing, but I think that Boris Johnson should resign. I think that the way you guys run your system, right? That this thing is he is in control of this. I mean, the problem that I have with this kind of activity, and it's the same problem I have with it in the United States. There's too many people, there's too many bureaucrats making decisions that screw people's lives over, not on any kind of real medical evidence, all right? But they're doing this on the fact that they're told things that they then can use, all right, as an excuse. And even when other evidence, exculpatory evidence is showing otherwise, they do not change. And that's how I know that it's not being done for honest reasons, all right? Is if you're shown, evidence of something, you believe this, so you put in a policy, and if somebody comes back later and says, here's the evidence that's showing you this is not only is this not working, but your policy is making it worse. At that point, if you don't reverse, then you're the problem. It's a you problem. It's not a medical issue, and this goes for any field. I'm not just referring to it from a COVID perspective. But you can't be sitting up there saying, "Well, rules for thee, and not for me." You can't be doing that. That's not leadership, all right? And in a representative republic, all right, or a representative government, Well, then you're not representing your people. You're just representing yourself.
That's been the case across the Western world for a long time now. Grow back.
Yeah.
No, I don't disagree with you. I definitely don't disagree with you. So.
I mean, have you not noticed that? I mean, I think it's been true even since we were kids. It doesn't matter which party gets in.
Let's
same
go.
thing happens.
Yeah.
Nothing really changes, which has always struck me as a hint that maybe the parties and the politicians that get into power aren't actually the ones in power. I've long thought that civil service in the UK at least, probably in the United States as well, is the real power.
The US is considerably different, right? And the bureaucracy in the US has been growing, which has created a dynamic that's similar in that regard, all right, to what you're seeing.
The odd thing is you saying that the bureaucracy in the UK has been shrinking because they've been shedding jobs in our civil service like crazy.
But and how? Let's be honest. That trend has been going on for how long? It's fairly recent, isn't it?
No. I mean, it was going on about 10 years before I got a temporary job in the civil service.
Oh, so you're one of the bureaucrats. You're part of the blame.
No, it was a temporary job. I was just an admin assistant for a year.
Technically, you could actually call the Prime Minister a temporary job. You don't get to keep it.
He's not wrong.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. Just saying, carry on, guys.
So let me ask a question. Do you think when Boris Johnson steps down, and I assume the next question I have is if Boris Johnson steps down, does that trigger elections?
Yes. Well, right. You first. Go on.
No, because it's not Boris Johnson who's elected, it's his party.
Yes. He's correct there. What it does cause is that the pro tem Prime Minister will come in. They will probably, and note that word, probably actually call a vote if they can prove that they can actually do the job. Otherwise, they're going to basically make you wait, and it's time for the votes to come up anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Either way,
dodgy.
Boris gets ousted or steps down, they're going to have to drag his wife out of Downing Street, kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Why do I get the feeling that Batman's like, and when that happens, I'll be there with a camera.
When that happens, I'll be there with a cattle prod.
You'll be one of the ones driving her out of the building. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'll be flinging holy water, hitting with a cattle prod, then flinging holy water in her face, shouting, "The power of Christ compels ye, bitch."
Oh, okay.
Should have done to Endora.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I wonder if that would have worked.
When is your next election scheduled, by the way?
Hey, Nomad, I wonder if that would have worked.
About 4 years.
On Bewitched. Yeah, if Darren had gotten some holy water, just started flicking it in Endora's face and shouting, "The power of Christ compels thee."
Yeah, that would have been interesting. It would have been better to do to his wife, in my opinion. He kind of made a mistake.
No, his wife was hot.
His wife may have been hot, but she was a problem.
I suppose you were happy with the genie, were you?
The genie?
Yeah.
What genie? What the hell are you talking about?
I dream of Genie.
Oh, I dream of Genie. Well, and if they wanted to drive her out too, that would have been fine.
No, I'm having to say this. You old bastards. Carry on.
Yeah. Look,
At least you know what we're talking about.
Yes. You've been out in the wilderness too long, Growbag.
Maybe. But then again, this next story should explain things. Hot milk and grooming for camels at Saudi luxury hotel.
Ah, right. So we all know where overseas go for a next holiday.
All right. With heated stalls and hot milk, life couldn't be more glamorous for Saudi Arabia's most beautiful camel. There's no such thing as a beautiful camel. Okay?
Don't you tell that, hey, don't you tell that to Cortez, she'll be upset.
I'm sorry, but there's no such thing as... When you see baby animals, right, they're always cute. Not a camel.
No.
Okay, camels are the exception to the rule. Okay,
Why do you think the bad tempered?
Right. Just 400 rials, just over $100 a night, camels are trimmed, scrubbed, and pampered before taking part in beauty contests where millions of dollars are at stakes. The camels, many of which are rented, are checked closely for Botox and other illegal enhancements that could see them thrown out for cheating.
I can imagine. Abdul, I am going to have to disqualify you. Your camel is wearing mascara and lipstick.
Yes.
The Topman described as the first hotel for camels is an open-air desert compound near the annual King Abdul Allah's Festival, which has prizes totaling $66 million. It's a logical step for the lucrative industry. It's a logical step. Camel hotels are a logical step.
I can't over the Botox.
What was that, Sharati?
I said, I'm sorry, I can't get over the Botox.
Yeah, well, maybe you shouldn't have had it.
Omar Al-Khattani, who is Saudi... Hold on a second. Yeah, hold on. Omar Al-Khattani, all right, who is a Saudi, checked in 80 camels for 16 days for $160,000 to $213,000.
Couple of things for you here, Slow Brad. First of all, so some Saudi couple go home after a holiday, right? And the kids notice something. Dad, why is mother so upset? Oh, she won a beauty contest. What's wrong with that? It was for camels.
Okay, but
the other thing is, I'm imagining a camel, shock sensation in Saudi newspapers about this camel getting disqualified because it had silicone implants in its humps.
This is the hotel. Okay, that you're charging people $100 a night per camel.
What were you expecting? Yeah, chalets and a fucking pool and a bar.
Who owns this hotel?
I wish I did. I wish me and Jenson were partners in the fucking thing.
I'm not wrong here, right?
The easy way.
The only thing is the staff is cost. I can understand why the staff would be expensive because you got to clean the stalls. Still.
Yeah. It's basically some Arab said, "Hold my puka."
Now hold it. Right. Something you said there, Nomad, about the cleaning of the stalls. You realise they could then sell the excrusions from the camels on as fertiliser. So you're going to make money that way. You're in a win-win-win here. You really are.
Yep. With green power being all the rage, you can actually sell the excrement as well to producing fuel.
Yeah.
43 dromedaries were drummed out of the festival when camel checkers spotted infringements such as Botox, silicone, and fillers injected into the lips, humps, and tails.
I was right.
You can't make
Carl says camels are beautiful, relatively speaking, as a relative standard. When poor Abdul removed his wife's hijab for the first time was also when he discovered how relatively beautiful his camel was.
Yes.
This is a fair statement.
Yes. And how his wife was actually his brother.
This is also possible.
Did you like that one? Did you know that?
Oh my god. The world is getting closer to the rock.
It's gone past the rock now. I think we're looking at
right now God's chalking up the Q-tip. Okay. He's on the billiards.
No, I think right now God's standing there, and in his mind he's going, and DiMaggio steps up to the plate.
That's good. That's another good statement. Let's see if we can find something else. Oh,
do you think he's getting ready to send Michael down to
a COVID story?
Mighty Sword?
Yes, this is truly a COVID-19 story.
Not working for God.
From Fortune magazine.
Yeah.
Cannabis compounds stopped COVID virus from infecting human cells in a lab study.
Ooh,
why do I doubt this? Cannabis compounds prevented the virus that causes COVID-19.
Yep.
The virus isn't COVID-19. It's now. I mean, AIDS is a. The HIV virus causes AIDS, but I think COVID-19 is the virus, is it not?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
You do realise that Dodge would be loving this.
Right.
Well, they also found out when it started out that apparently smokers are less likely to get it because of nicotine.
Possibly.
Again? Yeah.
Right. From penetrating healthy human cells, according to a laboratory study published in the Journal of Nature Products, the two compounds commonly found in hemp, called how do you say this? Bigarolic? Cannabigerolic? I guess.
Sounds about right, yeah.
Cannabidiol.
Yeah, that works. All right, CBGA and cannabolic acid, CBDA, all right, were identified during a chemical screening effort.
Load of bollocks.
As having the potential to combat the coronavirus, according to researchers at Oregon State University. What a surprise!
Yeah.
I've got a correct Carl there. Carl, inbreeding is not a huge problem in Islam. They find it very easy.
True.
So basically,
you all didn't realise that there was a Kentucky in Saudi Arabia. Just saying.
I thought Kentucky and Saudi Arabia.
The Middle East in Kentucky.
Back to this story. You were saying that Mad Dodge would have loved this. It sounds like Mad Dodge was part of the study.
What do you mean part of?
He was the study before he died.
And afterwards.
They probably used his body as a recipe.
Maybe he didn't die. Maybe the CDC faked his death so that they keep testing him.
You know, you say that, there is a certain person whose name will not be mentioned who apparently has done a stream with him that, to say the least, is an impossibility to do. It's like the guy died like a year ago and the stream only came out a couple of weeks ago.
The gorilla?
No, ugly.
The monkey.
Oh.
Yeah.
Annoyed.
Anyway.
What are you so happy about, you hairy bastard?
Russia won't rule out military deployment to Cuba or Venezuela. Russia raised the stakes Thursday in its dispute with the West over the Ukraine and NATO's expansion when a top diplomat refused to rule out a military deployment to Cuba and Venezuela if tensions with the United States escalate.
Oh God, we're having Can somebody tell the political world that sequels only happen for movies?
Okay, the United States isn't going to care. You're not raising
the missile crisis too.
You're not raising. Well, see, but the Cuban Missile Crisis was something a little different, right? If you put nuclear weapons in there, then that's an escalation, all right. But if you're saying, well, we're going to put troops there, how are you going to feed them? If the United States wants to say, okay, fine, you put troops there, let's go to war, you're basically putting these people out there as sacrificial lambs because you can't maintain that logistically. Right?
Can you imagine a second missile crisis with Bernie in control? Weekend at Biden's. Yeah, he'd use the fucking football.
I don't think he could find the football. It'd be like Lucy. His wife would be like Lucy. She'd take that away. Come on. No, there you go.
Hey, bro, dad. His wife would be the one pressing the bloody button.
Well, she might press it by accident.
Nah. You think she'd sit on it, do you?
I think
Oof.
She's at least cognizant of who she is. I mean, I'll be honest with you, but no, I don't think
started when President Joe Biden sat on the button.
This is not a threat to the United States.
No, he'd fall asleep on the button.
He would.
Oh, you think he'd cheek press the button?
No, I mean he would go.
Yeah, he'd
and
face
fall
plant on
asleep
the
on the
button.
fucking button.
He'd face plant on the button, yeah. He'd cheek press it.
There's not.
No, I mean his forehead would fucking hit it because he'd just be. Can
you imagine Joe Biden running for the football, right?
Don't imagine Joe Biden running.
And Hillary Clinton taking it away as he tries to kick it.
Yeah. Oh, God, yes, I can see that.
I don't imagine either of them doing anything half as athletic as that.
No, just the thought is hilarious, though. You got to admit that.
No. Joe Biden tries to run for the football and Hillary loses it.
I'm actually seeing Biden doing a Charlie Brown missing, and then Biden sailing through midair, kicking for the ball, and that would just be really fun to watch. I would watch that happily. I really would.
Back to time to go back to why God is going to destroy the planet. TikToker made $200,000 farting in jars. Here's how she did it.
It's all news. This TikToker heard about what you call it, pussy-scented candles and thought, hold my beer.
The Marxist political scientist Michael Peranti, once wrote, "The essence of capitalism is to turn nature into commodities and commodities into capital. Perhaps no one knows this more intimately than 90 Day Fiancé star Stephanie Matto, a YouTuber turned adult content creator who claims to have made up to $200,000 selling her farts in jars. Perhaps best known for being one half of the TLC reality show's first same-sex couple in 2020, Matto went viral on TikTok in December by documenting her lucrative fart-selling business, garnering hundreds of thousands of followers a day.
I just Googled her up and...
Oh my God!
Yeah. I mean, she's not ugly, but she's special either, if you know what I mean.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Seriously, who would buy that stuff? You've got to be out of your fucking mind.
Sharati Belle Delphine made thousands selling her bath water.
Yeah. And the woman there
bought that. We're out of our fucking mind.
Yeah, Jim, going back to sleep isn't an option. It'll just follow you.
So you bought it?
What?
Said going back to sleep isn't an option. It will just follow you. So I assume you bought it.
That what he tried to escape will just follow him into his sleep.
After-school Satan club planned at Illinois elementary school. District explains why. Because you're Satanists?
No, because it's so hip and trendy.
An Illinois school district is defending an after-school program being offered by the Satanic Temple, a national religious and human rights organization. Many parents are reportedly furious over the meetings that will be held at the Jane Addams Elementary School in Moline. The Satanic Temple does not believe in Satan, according to its website. Then why do you call yourself the Satanic Temple?
Sarcasm and having a laugh at the establishment, basically.
No, this is harm. Instead, the club will teach children about the benevolence and empathy, critical thinking, problem solving, creative expression, and personal sovereignty, according to a widely circulated flyer shared on social media.
All of that, bro, Dad. Now you will understand why these parents are getting pissed off. It's Illinois. It's a heavily democratic, politically correct area, and these people are teaching you about critical thinking and stuff and problem solving, stuff like that. All things that the loony left hate.
Well, yeah, but the loony left lies, and that's what this is. You know they're not going to talk about benevolence.
Really
You know they're not going to talk about empathy. You know they're not going to talk about empathy and critical thinking. Can you tell me how that goes together? We're going to talk about your fifis and how to think critically.
For 5 seconds?
No, I won't. Damn it!
Well, we'll take it off you.
Did you even listen to the guy?
No.
Did you listen
The
to
guy
him?
is a liar. Okay,
Oh.
Understand this, Sherardi. Understand it. Get this through your head. The guy says he's a Satanist. All right. Now, if a guy tells you he's a Satanist and you expect the truth, no, she's talking about something slightly different because this guy went on Tucker Carlson. All right. This guy is lying. He's telling you what you want to hear, but that's not what they're going to do at this school.
There's differences between a satanic person and a Satanist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why they call themselves. You know what? I'm a satanic person, but I'm not. I'm a Satanist that doesn't believe in Satan as part of the Satan temple.
See, the problem you've got here, Sharati, is a certain person heard the word Satan, and that's triggered the emergency response.
No, I'm taking it for what it is. When you sit up there and want to play a game and use the term Satanist and then say, but I'm not really a Satanist, and you continue to use it, all right? I'm going by your actions, not by your words. No matter how many times other people go, oh no, it's just this, your actions define you. If it was a one-time lark thing, that would be one thing. That's not what this is, though, is it?
How many human sacrifices has this church done?
Don't know yet,
Not
do we?
enough.
He was arguing for the Constitution.
He claims that he is, but he's not. There's a difference between saying I'm for something and actually going out there to do it.
True.
Why is this concept so difficult to have? Go ahead.
He's arguing for the Constitution, outright says, if you do not want your children to be a part of this, then please, by all means, do not force them.
Yeah, he says that. Isn't it wonderful? After all the things, then it comes out, oh, no, I'm going to say things. There's a difference between what you do and what you say. These people are liars. They've always been liars. If you cannot sit up there and examine what they do, oh, I'm not part of a Satan temple. Well, I am part of the Satan temple, but we don't believe in Satan. Then why do you call it the Satan temple and continue to call it the Satan temple? Because your actions speak louder than words.
What are their actions?
Their actions are to sit up there and act like Satanists.
But you can't call it an atheist temple.
Why not? What's preventing that?
Because that's not a religion.
Who said that? Who says that it's not a religion?
People, it isn't a religion. It's in the word atheist.
No, that means a religion is a state of beliefs. All right, atheism is a state of beliefs.
Atheist is a rejection of belief.
No, it's a rejection of a belief in God, but it's still a stated belief. Okay,
It isn't.
It is.
Stated belief. A stated belief is I believe God does not exist.
Right.
An atheist says I do not believe God exists.
An atheist.
I just want to make a point. Yeah, it's supposed to be a news show, not a religious education show. Just reminding you guys. Carry on. Just pointing out
as he gets popcorn.
Oh God, yeah, I'm having a great time here. This is brilliant to listen to.
The fact is that this guy who comes out here says one thing, but he does something else. The guys are liars. No one can debate that with me. I find it interesting, and nobody's going to debate that with me. All right? So why are you constantly trying to preach what he says to me?
I'm not.
Well, she was. I wasn't talking about you, Batman. You have other issues.
Yeah, I've got to put up with you.
Well, that's one.
Okay, I'm trying not to laugh.
That's only one of your many your many burdens in life.
That's the biggest burden I've got. You.
Aww.
It's like carrying the planet Jupiter around.
No.
Like literally.
I don't personally know the guy, so I don't know whether or not he's lying. But from
you can't examine the fact that he's
but
part
you
of the.
Let me speak.
No, because you made a statement. You said you can't tell if he's a liar or not. Well, how is it then that he says that he doesn't follow Satan, but sits up there and keeps promoting a Satan temple? And you can't sit up there and tell me that that's his actions. That his actions don't match his words, and that's not lying. You're an idiot.
He's an atheist. So he started the Satan temple because atheism is, as it states, not a religion.
Atheism is a religion. All right. So I hate to tell you this, but atheism is a religion. All right.
Atheism a religion is
a set of beliefs. That is it.
That's a faith. Religion is a network set up
of faith.
Practice your beliefs.
Is a fact, and that's exactly what atheism is.
Constitution.
No. He talked to Tucker about the Constitution because he was saying that. Hold on, Batman. There's two conversations going on here, and this is the one with Sharardi. No, stay out of this because we're talking about the Constitution now. Shut up. We're going to stay with the Constitution for a moment. All right. He says he's for the Constitution. Really? Well, tell me why? No, this has nothing to do with you. This has nothing to do with you. This is out of there. All right. Mm-hmm. You're saying that he says that it's part of the Constitution. He wants to sit up there and push the Constitution. That's not what he's doing. Okay. What he's actually doing.
He wants to push the Constitution and morals.
That's what morals? By declaring yourself a Satanist and then saying, well, I'm not really a Satanist? What morals is the guy actually trying to promote, Sharardi? How to lie successfully to people? How to be a dishonest reprobate?
Really?
Really?
How about morals that are brought back from being constitutionally apt?
The Constitution is not a set of it's not a moral document. It's not a set of morals. And if you do say it's a set of morals, then you're telling me it's a religion and it's a set of codified beliefs.
Having morals makes you a religious person?
I didn't say that. I said whether you have morals or don't have morals doesn't define you as religious or not religious. Okay? But a religion is defined that way. If you're a follower of a specific dogma, you are following a religion. It's the same thing as when you sit up there and believe in global warming. It's a religion too.
Okay, I believe in the Constitution. Does that make me a follower of the Constitution?
Do you say
Does
that
make me?
No, that doesn't make you a follower of the Constitution. Doesn't mean that in and of itself is defining. But when you say you're getting your moral, when you get your morals, when you say that these are your moral standards, yes, it does. The moment you sit up there and attribute morals to it, yes, then it is you're following it as a religion. You can go out there and say that there's a set of principles that you're establishing or a set of principles that you're following. All right, that doesn't mean it's a religion necessarily. But if you say you're getting your moral codes from it, all right, then yes, it defines your morality. Your morality is defined by the Constitution?
Hey, guys, let's break this down nice and simple, okay? Can we have this argument either A, later, or B, in a separate channel? I'll get on with the bloody news.
All right, you want to get on with the news?
I do.
I drove poor Batman away. That's the first time I've ever done that, actually.
I'm quite impressed.
We'll remove him from the scene.
Yep.
And we'll put this back.
Sorry, Batman.
All right, we'll increase your
bloody religion.
We'll get Shorty in there. My point isn't I'm not arguing religion. I'm arguing what is a religion.
Okay, well, can we stop arguing about any of it and just get on with this stories? Thank you.
On with the show.
I ran out of popcorn. Stop it.
Oh, is that the issue?
Yeah, it is actually.
That kind of explains things. There we go. All right, on to the next story. Ready?
Yes.
Seniors stoned in pot brownie mishap. A group of senior citizens unknowingly consumed pot brownies that were brought to the community center card game by 73-year-old South Dakota woman who was unaware that her son had prepared the baked goods with THC butter, according to the cops.
Nice.
According to the probable cause affidavit, police dispatchers on Tuesday received several calls reporting possible poisonings of individuals who were at the Tabor Community Center earlier for a card game. Tabor, a population of 423, is a town about 85 miles southwest of Sioux Falls. In an investigation into the incident led me to believe that the patients there were all under the influence of THC from a batch of brownies that were brought to the community center by Irene Coranda, reported Deputy Sheriff Joel Newman. A couple who had been at the weekly Tuesday night card game told the police that after several people had eaten the brownies, including themselves, they learned that Carando's son had made the brownies and had been in Colorado over the past weekend and brought back packets of marijuana.
Okay.
And products with marijuana. During the interview, Coranda said that her son, Michael, 46, had baked a pan of brownies and she took them to the community center card game, unaware that the sweets contained THC, the psychoactive substance in cannabis. Coranda willingly gave the sheriff the remainder of the brownies in a plastic container. The younger Coranda, an elementary school music teacher, told deputies that he prepared the pot brownies with THC butter that he brought back from Colorado. After baking the brownies, Coranda said that he went to bed and his mother unknowingly took the brownies to the card game. No, you did that intentionally, asshole. Okay, let's be honest.
It'd be funny if he did. It really would be funny if he did.
All right. Coranda, seen above, all right, was a... this is your music teacher?
Yeah. Is it me or does he look like... No, okay, I have something I want to ask you to. Is it me or does he look like a cone head?
He does look like a cone head.
Just saying. I'm not judging anybody, but I'm sorry. I see that picture and I just see a cone head. I really do.
Corona.
heads are bald.
Corona, seen above, was arrested for possession of a controlled drug, a felony carrying a maximum sentence of 5 years in prison and a $10,000 fine. Free on $3,000 bond, Corona is scheduled for a January 25th court appearance. Did the school at least fire this moron?
Right. For the point, did the guy at least have the sense to actually stream a whole bunch of grannies wrecked out their face? He could pay his way easily with that.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No. Look, first of all, I find it hard to believe that he made brownies and didn't tell Grandma that he, all right,
yeah,
put these things in there, and especially knowing, because in these situations, all right, it's like a rotating thing, right? You have to bring a dish in, right? I'm sure the card game people, it's this person brings this dish, this person brings that dish. You know, next week it'll be these two people or whatever, right? That's how those things normally go. So this guy said, "I'll bake the brownies for Grandma, or I'll bake the brownies for you, Mom," and put it out there, thinking it was to have a joke about it, right? I don't believe, I find it hard to believe that he just forgot that he made brownies, all right, and I just left the pan out there.
Well, actually, no, I'm going to semi-defend the guy here, all right? And my argument is this. It is possible he did forget. That's because he was absolutely out of his trolley on normal weed and completely forgot that he'd made the brownies. That's possible.
And his quote-unquote mother didn't realize it?
She's an idiot. Next.
It becomes a lot less believable now, doesn't it?
Yeah, see, I'm actually defending him, not her there. I actually think, if anything, it's possible that he did literally forget. He had a joint, went to bed, didn't wake up in time. The question is why she didn't realise. It really is.
That is a question, too. I will admit that as well. That I think that she's not as innocent either. All right.
No.
Back with this.
Or maybe Granny just wanted a little high on.
I'll get that Mrs. Jenkins. She can have some of these.
Get the table mates to sit up there and have fun with it, huh?
We get some meth. Yeah.
You just 70s.
Florida woman busted for a 3 a.m. glitter attack.
Oh, I remember this story.
Two Florida women are each facing felony burglary. This is January 11th. This is a fairly new story. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they look so proud of themselves.
They do. They do. Two Florida women are each facing a felony burglary charge after allegedly perpetrating a 3 a.m. glitter attack on a male victim. Investigators say that Sarah Franks, 29, and Caitlin Donovan, 27, arrived early yesterday morning at the Clearwater residence of Jacob Colin and began arguing with him while he was standing on his fenced balcony. Franks and Donovan, cops alleged, each threw a container of glitter at Colin, who was struck in the upper torso and head. Arrest affidavits did not reveal the nature of the argument or the relationship between the parties. After pelting Colin, Franks climbed over the ground level fence and entered Colin's apartment, where she engaged the victim again by throwing more containers of glitter at him. Franks then allegedly unlocked the front door to allow Donovan to enter the residence. Once inside, Donovan threw additional containers of glitter at Colin, according to the affidavits, which indicate that O'Donovan and Franks share an apartment about 2 miles away from Colin's home. Upon completing the glitter bombing, Franks kicked a window in Colin's residence until it broke. The pair then drove away from the apartment complex. Since it appears that Colin was able to identify his assailants, police arrested Franks and Donovan about an hour after the glitter attack. The getaway car police reported, was tracked back to the duo's home, and the auto was filled with still warm to the touch, and glitter was observed on the inside of the vehicle.
If they hadn't have kicked in the window, they'd have probably got away with that as being just people being bloody stupid. This kicking in the window was a problem.
No. I mean, this is an amusing story until you read this. Franks bonded out of jail in the morning after posting $75,000 bond.
Wow.
Because she's a white woman.
Mm-hmm. Holy crap!
Damn.
Oh my God. That's an attempted murder charge. Freaking thing, you know?
Talk about the white privilege.
What did you do? Can you imagine her talking to her cellmates? What are you in for? Glitter bombing a guy's house?
Yeah, they all back away. They all back away going, "Oh my God, you're crazy." Now that's the moment you realise this is a really screwy world.
That's cray. $75,000 bond? I'm finding this... What's interesting is the other one couldn't put up bond, so she's still in jail. Thanks, Rumi. Thanks for leaving me in the hole.
You got this. Yeah.
Well, she done fucked up, or she's got some good parents that told her, if you fuck up, you're going to stay in jail.
Possible.
Well, for $75,000 bond, how many parents have that carrying around on their cash? I mean, it's one thing to say, $3,000 bond. I can understand that. $75,000 bond?
My parents wouldn't pay $50 to get me out.
Well, I understand that, but how many people run around with that much freaking, disposable cash? That's pretty excessive. I mean, holy cow! No,
I was a minor drunk in public, and they were like, "Nope, you fucked up. You're gonna pay the price."
That's exactly fair. Now, I'll be honest with you. Police should. The legal system should be such that if police arrest you for drunk and disorderly, that they have the option of saying, okay, time served, go away. That's my belief, right?
My aunt was one of the guards.
Oh, you were screwed.
Yeah.
Mom and her sister keeping an eye on you. You were just wanting to
it was either go home and get yelled at by my parents or go to jail and get yelled at by my aunt, so I was fucked either way.
Karate in Orange is the New Black. Okay.
We'll have to repaint this picture in orange, right? Little orange jumpsuit for him. Oh my God. Final story of the day. The final story.
Yep.
Herd of elk halts traffic in North Carolina highway. Elk in North Carolina? I didn't know they had elk in North Carolina. That's a lot of that looks like a caribou crossing. We may have to sort of turn and picture this to see what the heck this is, assuming that it shows up. It doesn't just roll around like that, of course.
Of course.
Anyway.
Yeah. Oh well. Nice try.
Dean Clover captured a video of a herd, that created a traffic jam by crossing Highway 441 in Cherokee near the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Clover's footage shows some elk. That's not some elk running across the road while others casually walk to reach the other side and graze on grass. Elk are native to the area, but the populations have dwindled due to overhunting by European settlers since the late 1700s. The National Park Service stated that started to reintroduce elk in the region in 2001. Oh, okay, so that's why there's elk. I knew there weren't elk normally there. I've never heard of elk in North Carolina before. Now we know why. Right, they reintroduced them, which is that's fine. Right, but
you have one question about this, and this one is probably the most important question you've ever heard based on these. Are they good eating?
Oh yeah, elk is delicious. All right,
that's all I needed.
They are they are like deer, right? They are like venison. That you can hunt them and eat them.
Check.
Right. So I just
Amy is hell if not cooked properly.
Well, everything can be bad if you don't cook it properly.
First time. Hey, at least it's not chicken, huh?
The problem that I have with this is where
won't get food poisoning.
No, is the natural predators aren't there, right? Maybe there's some bears. Maybe the bears can keep the population down, but there's got to be a lot of bears because bears don't. It's not how bears generally hunt. And there's no. I mean, unless you're going to reintroduce the wolves, are you going to reintroduce the wolves to this area?
No, man. They've actually got the natural predator. It's called the hick. It's in North Carolina, trust me.
I realize that human beings can keep this down, but there's too many people that want to cry over Bambi's mother. That's the world we live in today.
I want to eat Bambi's mother, but hey.
Oh, you're talking about the vegan and the vegetarian.
Well, I'm just talking about people in general, to be honest, because there's too many idiots. I mean, let's be honest.
Fair point.
Whether they're vegetarians or non-vegetarians is immaterial to me. But if you're going to cry over Bambi's mother being shot, there's far too many that cry over Bambi's mother being shot. So.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is. But I guess it's okay. I mean, the people watch these. You saw how big they are, right?
Oh yeah.
Elk are a bit bigger than deer generally, right? So they have quite a bit more meat on them, right?
Just a bit.
Not for long.
A bit more than a bit.
I said quite a bit more meat on them. I did not say just a bit. Did I? I might have said just a bit. I meant quite a bit. They have quite a bit more meat on them. They're about twice the size of deer as far as food capabilities. Which is one of the reasons why they were hunted more than the deer were. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Go.
And she's gone. You know what you call elk charging orgies, don't you? Fast food. Just saying. It's coming straight for you. Boom.
Oh, she has returned.
Yes.
I said, Goatman says, add Thumper to the meal list.
I agree with that concept.
Thumper is, if you want to talk about lean meat, rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Rabbit is very
absolutely no calories in it.
It does have calories, but you can't, because there's very little fat, there's no extra, there's nothing else. It's just like eating straight protein, like a protein bar. Right, only straight protein, right? Like drinking the protein shakes, and that's all you do. Okay, so you will die if you tried to survive on rabbits. You would die.
Yeah.
you were not going to survive. Just stay, a diet of straight rabbits. All right. Can it fill you up? Will it tide you over? Yes, but if that's all you eat, good luck to you. You're gone. You'll be dead soon.
Okay. Trotty, you probably will know this more than Nomad, but you don't know. Does it mean that if Thumper and Bambi got together, you'd end up with a jackalope?
Oh.
Just wondering. And if you don't know what a jackalope is, it's...
Now?
Sorry, what?
Can I shoot you now?
Yes, go ahead. I'm not wrong, what?
We don't need any mystical creatures or anime-type creatures being created because you're weird.
I did not mention catgirls this time.
No.
He didn't.
Except you just did.
I know.
He didn't mention them. He did. Well, he just did.
He just did.
He hadn't mentioned them before. That's very true. And I haven't put them on. So there's that. There's that.
True, yeah.
And since this is strictly a news place, according to Jenson, so we don't want to do this. You know, he
Did you say news or nudist?
Yes. There's a horrifying thought all the time. Now, one last piece of news. I'm assuming you guys have heard about the volcano that's going off in Tonga.
No.
I heard about a volcanic eruption, but not.
Yeah,
nothing more really.
Basically, the islanders there were absolutely losing their living mind, given the fact that there's a whole load of volcanic activity. Now, apart from what I've heard, there's actually a distinct possibility that you could end up with like tsunamis and shit going on your west coast. Might be an idea to keep an ear out for that. I realise you guys are not near it, and unless the tsunami is really, really, really big, you're probably safe.
Yeah, well, the tsunami's not going to affect me, no. Because if it gets over that ocean, or over those mountains rather, if it gets past those mountain ranges, well, first of all, I'm going to be seriously impressed. Right?
I did say, but just something to think about. In all fairness, I mean, if it does hit, it's only going to wash away California. That is only going to make the place cleaner. Let's be fair.
Yeah, I mean, you scramble a few eggs here. I mean, if LA gets hit with this, well, there is such a thing as retribution.
Yeah.
If it washes away a few lefties, yay, there's a few less.
How's that blood necklace looking now?
Fair point. I just wanted to bring it up. It's something I heard about, so I thought I'd mention it. See, we did news.
Well, if there's first of all, a tsunami. All right, the Tonga. Where is Tonga at?
You really want to try to punch me?
No, thanks. I'm not going anywhere near you.
I don't think she's talking to you.
Okay.
No, I'm talking to my kid.
All right.
Because she's being an asshole.
Okay, so Tonga is near Fuji.
Huh?
Or I'm not... Fiji, excuse me, Fiji.
Fiji, yeah. If it was near Mount Fuji, I wouldn't be too worried, but Japan might be nervous at this point.
Well, Australia is closer, much closer, right, to this than we are. Mexico, the Mexican coast would be good if it's that big that the Mexican coast gets or the California coast gets a tsunami. I feel sorry for Chile and Peru because it's going to get crushed.
Fair point. Just like I said, it's something I saw, so I thought I'd bring it up. That was all.
Well, we'll know when Hawaii gets washed away, right? We'll know. I mean, Hawaii's right there.
Are you trying to tell me that you're keeping an eye out in case there's a new version of Pearl Harbor? Good to know.
Well,
then Goatman says, hopefully California slides off into the ocean.
That's not fair. The poor ocean doesn't deserve that, and you know it.
It's been this polluted, and California's gonna hurt it.
Fair point, actually. All right, I'll accept that.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, they go out there, they go surfing every day in that thing, right?
Bro, it probably explains Californians if you think about it.
To an extent.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm finished. I hope Batman's not too mad at me.
I doubt Batman will stay mad at you for long.
Yeah.
I doubt he likes religion, especially when you and I are both screaming at each other.
Well, it wasn't a religious context. It, like I said, it has something. It's not. It's not. First of all, I don't. Anybody who's an obvious liar to me, I don't listen to their words, right? And I'm not going to give them any kind of credibility. Okay, that's number one. Number two is whether people want to admit this or not, right? And this is my opinion, right? And I'm not going to change this opinion, right? Atheism is a religion because it's a dogmatic belief, right? If you follow a dogmatic type of belief system, it's a religion. Whether you believe in the divine spirit or whether you believe in Gaia, Mother Earth, or whether or not you believe that there's turtles all the way down. Okay.
Then James pops into the conversation.
Well, yeah, I know. I just want to put out so people understand where I'm coming from. I'm not talking about it now. If you want to talk about morality, all right, that's a separate issue. All right. However, I don't just think that a book, for example, let's say that you're a communist and you follow the principles of Das Kapital or the Communist Manifesto. Those are not moral codes. Okay? Those are just principles. All right? There is no morality within them. If you talk about you're a follower of the aristocracy, right? And you're a believer in the queen, okay? That's not a moral code, right? The principles of the aristocracy exist, but that doesn't mean it's moral. That doesn't have a morality code to it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's how I view it. If I may
guys, just want to interrupt. First of all, Sympathist Keen, he thinks he may actually have the coof. I really hope you can be all right, mate.
Who?
Arakeen.
Oh, really? Yeah. Stay safe. I mean, anybody who catches any kind of disease, I hope you get well soon. For a variety, whatever you catch. Right? Hopefully, it's a very mild. It's a mild case, and not only do you get it over with, but it gives you immunity for later diseases. Right?
Yeah.
And that's another thing, that there are diseases out there, whether you like it or not. Colds are one of them. Yes, your body will fight off a cold. That doesn't mean you're immune to colds.
No.
Okay. Flu, same thing. Just because you get over the flu once doesn't mean you can't get the flu again and again and again. Right?
Yep.
There are viruses out there that do change, and there are also viruses and illnesses that your body can develop antibodies for, but not keep them around. Okay. Now, yes, there are some times that the antibodies stick around forever. Okay. For the most part, the smallpox, for example.
Measles.
Well, I don't know about measles, but I think that you're right. I haven't studied I hear about measles, but I'll be honest with you. When has anybody seen a measles outbreak?
Not for ages.
I mean, I haven't even heard of one. You know, I mean, measles used to be something kids get every year, right? You know, they always hear about a few kids here and a few kids there getting measles. I haven't heard of anybody getting measles in a long, long time, right?
That's because the coof is the big thing. Let's be fair.
Well, I think that's unfortunate. Unfortunately, you know, that's part of the unfortunate aspect of this. I do often wonder.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Coof killed the flu too, unfortunately.
Well, I do often wonder how many people are not getting the medical care they need outside of the coof because the coof is the overriding concern of everybody.
Yep.
Oh, did you hear that Ronald McDonald is kicking leukemia patients out?
Yes. Oh, I heard that.
Why?
Because of their vax status?
Yeah.
Whether they're vaccinated or not? If they're not vaccinated, they're getting kicked out of the Ronald McDonald whatever thing.
Really?
Yeah. She's not joking. It's horrifying. It really is.
Okay, leukemia, for those who don't know, leukemia is a blood-borne cancer. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's cancer of the blood. Right? There's different types of leukemia, but all leukemia is a cancer of the blood. Your immune system is highly compromised. Okay, at that point, taking this mRNA shot will not help that. Okay, I'm not sure what the result of taking something like that would be. If I can see doctors saying no, don't take the vaccine because you're undergoing treatment. Now I don't know if that's the case in this case, right? But it makes me wonder what people are thinking. Of course, I mean, I'm one of the people who believe that, look, this is what it is, right? I don't believe that I personally don't believe that the shot overall is, for certain people, it probably has a great effect. For other people, I don't think it has any effect, right? And I think that that's been borne out by what you're seeing, okay, as far as the people that are getting it and so forth. If you want to get the shot, get the shot. All right. Like I said, I encouraged my family to get my elderly parents to get the shot. At the same time, I'm not getting the shot. All right. I'm not in that really death category. Okay.
Yeah.
Or that susceptible category. Right. It's a different view of looking at things. Okay. So, if you have religious objections because they're using fetal tissue, which is another added aspect of it, I understand that too. Okay? I'm not going to tell you you're wrong or anything, and I don't believe that you're endangering somebody else just because you don't take the shot. That I don't believe. Okay? If you think somebody's going to be in danger of getting the disease, then you should be doing things with that individual to prevent them from getting the disease. Right.
I found one dailymail.co.uk. Unvaccinated Canadian parents and their 4-year-old son with leukemia are being evicted from Ronald McDonald's house because they've not had COVID shot.
Yep, and just so you know, Nomad, that's probably got us banned. Do I care? No, but I'm just pointing it out.
Well, do you want me to send you the link?
I'm not saying that. Yeah, you can send me the link. It doesn't surprise me that they're doing stuff like that. I'm not trying to tell people how to live. I'm not spreading any misinformation. Okay, it's a matter of what works and what doesn't work. Okay, honestly, I'm not trying to be a dick about things, but if you can say that the shots work. Okay, if you believe the shots work, that's fine. All right. If you don't believe the shot works, that's fine. Okay. You're going to do what's right for you. Talk to your doctor, talk to your people around you, and make the decision from that. And I've done that. Believe it or not, I have done that. All right? Now, the idea that there's unanimity, that there's, everyone's on the same sheet of music in the medical industry, right, where all the doctors say are believing in the shot. Yes, there are doctors that believe in the shot. There are also doctors that don't believe in the shot. Okay, I mean,
the link's in your Discord.
Okay.
Or in DMs.
Okay. That doesn't make you a bad person in my book. Okay. It is what it is, right? So, I'm not trying to tell people what to do or not do, right? I'm not trying to prevent anybody from getting a shot. I really am not. Right? If you want to get the shot, more power to you, all right?
Yeah.
But if you come back and tell me that somebody's catching the disease because somebody else didn't get the shot, well, I'm going to disagree with you there. Right? And I think that the facts of the number of people who have had the shot and yet are still coming down with the disease, all right?
Yep.
I think proves the fact that kind of mentality is not accurate. Right? For those who don't know, we'll go ahead and let me pull this up for Shardy here.
Mr. Goatman says, I had scarlet fever when I was 11. Jim says, I'm glad I couldn't actually buy McDonald's coffee this morning then. And goes on to say, I think he means there was a measles outbreak in one of the big Disneyland or Disney World a while ago. Some years, one of the guys with the InfoWars, the health ranger guy, covered that story.
Unvaccinated Canadian parents and their 4-year-old son with leukemia are being evicted from a Ronald McDonald's house because they're not had the COVID shot. This is according to the UK Daily Mail. Ronald, the family of a 4-year-old boy battling leukemia, claimed that they are being evicted from seeing that, and this is also I agree with, right? And what I mean is they claim this. We don't know what's true. Okay, it's a claim that they're being evicted because they are refusing to get vaccinated against COVID-19. But the charity says that it will be offering them alternative accommodations. Okay, that sounds reasonable. So why did you write this story?
Sensationalism, and you know it.
Well, or it could be that until they made an issue of it, Ronald McDonald was kicking them out, and now said, "Oh no, we're going to help them out still."
That's possible. Yeah.
Ronald McDonald's House of British Columbia and the Yukon branch, which provides temporary housing for families of children undergoing treatment for serious medical conditions, on Monday sent out a letter to all its residents notifying them that a vaccination mandate was going into effect on January 17th following a 2-week grace period. Now, the thing is they're in Vancouver, Canada. This is Canada.
Yeah.
Canada has its own rules, right?
Yeah.
And so, I hate to say this, but if I was going to travel to Canada right now, they would require me to get the shot. Guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to go to Canada anytime soon. Okay?
Fair.
Right? I'm going to obey their rules, right? Other countries have other rules. Right now, I can't go to Britain for the same reason.
Yep.
Right? Guess what? I'm not going to Britain. Now, a good part of our manufacturing is in Crawley, all right? For the place that I work. There are times when people from our my group travel to Crawley and for a couple of weeks for different reasons, right? Different work related kind of things. Now that hasn't been happening. I'll be honest, that hasn't been happening for the past 2 years, right? Travel has been. Let's be honest. Travel has been quite reduced around the country, right? And I assume that the same is true in Britain, right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. You basically you stay where you are. It's just damn sight easier. It really is.
Now in the U.S., it's obviously a lot easier to travel, right? I mean, if I had to travel somewhere in the United States, unless I was getting on a plane to go to Hawaii, I don't think no one would care. Aside from the fact that while I'm on the plane, I have to wear a mask, right?
Yeah.
That is.
Yes.
Yes.
Earlier this week, the Kelowna father of a 4-year-old who was staying at the facility while being treated for leukemia posted a video on social media showing him confronting an administrator about the change in the policy. The family's story was picked up by the media around the world. The charity responded with a statement on Thursday confirming that most children over the age of 5 and their families needed proof of vaccination as of January 31st, the end of a 2-week grace period for the change, but said no family will ever be evicted from our house. The statement also said our team has been in contact with the family in regards to this specific situation, and we are supporting arrangement for, quote, alternative accommodations. The Kelowna family of 4 arrived in October and were to remain at the house until June, according to the father's video.
Yeah, no.
The Vancouver PR firm answering questions to the charity said privacy policy prevented it from providing more details about the family's situation. but has provided support for sick kids and families needing to travel long distances to receive specialized care, only found in Vancouver.
Okay. Let me, for those who don't know, when you talk about leukemia treatments, okay, especially if it's a child, right?
Yeah.
This is not a you go in one day and you're out the next day, right? Or the next week. Okay, it is a long-term situation. They have to do a number of things to treat. All right, especially and it's very good that they have a high success rate, okay, for treating leukemia. All right, the success rate for treating most leukemias is in the upper 90s. Okay, 90%.
By the sound of this, as it keeps going, it sounds like they were in a rock and a hard place and they got caught between the press, and we don't want to get any more bad press.
Probably. I suspect that's probably a part of this. And of course the families. But it does take, if you're not in an area that has a large hospital facility, okay, the treatment that they can do, especially if the doctors have determined that in order to treat your leukemia, we're going to give you a bone marrow transplant. Okay? Transplanting bone marrow is a long process, all right? The first thing that they end up doing is they've got to wipe out the bone marrow that you currently have. They do that with radiation. They wipe out your white blood cells, and then they wait for all the white blood cells basically to die. All right. At the same time, because they've wiped out your bone marrow, they've got to every so often you're going to need transfusions of blood because this is because your body's the bone marrow produces blood. Okay, that's what it does.
Yeah.
So you can see how long that this kind of process can take, right? And there's several things that they're doing that, not the least of which is what they talk about chemo drugs, which everyone's heard of chemotherapy, right? So that's all a part of this, right? So it can take it can take a long time, all right, to treat somebody for these diseases, all right, successfully. And hopefully, this child, they're able to cure this child and everything will be fine. All right. But I can honestly say that in the United States, there are areas, for example, if you're in the northern half of Wyoming, where are you going to go to get treated? Right? Here in Arizona, all right, in Tucson, you could get treated in Tucson. You could get treated in Phoenix. But if you're in the Four Corners area, right, which is in the northeast of the state, there's nothing around for hundreds of miles, literally. Right, right. There's not going to be a major hospital where you're going to be able to do the kind of surgery that you need to do for something like bone marrow transplant, which is a very highly specialized, process. You're not going to get that at the corner drugstore. Okay, so some of these families that they end up with their with their child being sick or they themselves being sick, I can tell you there are stories from people from back home where I lived. Right, they would literally drive 100 miles a day, every day, for 5 weeks.
Wow.
100 miles there and 100 miles back to get treated. Okay, that's not an exaggeration.
I know that going to a neurologist alone takes a couple hours just to get to a decent neurologist.
Yeah, I mean, there are hospitals that are closer to where I lived, right? There are hospitals within 35 miles, but just because you have a hospital doesn't mean it has all the facilities that you need for specialized treatment of a disease. right? And even if you can treat one type of disease, that doesn't mean that they can treat all types of that disease, at a hospital. It is what it is. And I think that Britain's the same way, right? Well, except for the distance between things.
Obviously. No, you are correct. It's like when I went in for my heart, I went into one hospital, and when I woke up, I was in an utterly different hospital because they had to move me to somewhere that specialised with the heart conditions.
Right.
That's because you're a dumbass and went and had a stroke and a heart attack. You went in with pneumonia, you fuckwit.
You make it sound like he was doing this intentionally. You know what? I'll just play the card. I can play cards here. I think I'll take the card for.
Wanted to give his sister a heart attack, so he decided, I'll have a stroke and a heart attack at the same time, and that could be.
I don't think that he was trying to do it to get back at me. I really don't.
No, but it's a really good idea.
Now he's thinking, hey, this is an option.
Thank you for the suggestion, Tarati. I like it.
Now, okay, strokes are no joke. All right, for those who don't know, they are very dangerous. My mother-in-law had a stroke. She was in the hospital, and as a result of the stroke, a few days later, after she was still in the hospital, she had a heart attack, and that's fairly common. I don't know. It's but when my mother-in-law got out of the hospital, right, the stroke was one of those that was so severe enough that her personality was not the same, and it was you could see it, right, that the person there was a huge shift in personality, right. One thing that was that was quite noticeable right off the bat was the fact that she was quite a bit more emotional, right?
Yeah.
Which was, when you see somebody with that kind of damage, it bothers, and it's a loved one, and you can't do anything about it. You feel you have that helpless feeling, but they're no jokes.
Oh yeah.
If there was a disease or if there was a thing that you could wipe out just by wishing it away, strokes would be one of the things that I would wish away. I mean, it would be high. It would be right up there as the number one things I would wish away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because of the damage that it does, not just to the person, right, but to the families and everybody else down the line. Now, maybe it'll turn into that, like that one movie, right, where the guy wakes up from a stroke and he's no longer a raging asshole, right?
Yeah.
Maybe there's people like that. I don't know. I've never, I did. That was not my experience. Okay. So, hopefully everything will work out eventually, right? Now, the mother-in-law recovered to an extent, right? But to be honest, she was old. I mean, and she had other health conditions that ended up, unfortunately, coming to the fore and killing her. And specifically, she had breast cancer, and even with a double mastectomy, right? Everything was good for like 5 years, and then you had a recurrence, and that was the end of it. Right? There was nothing they could do. So, it's unfortunate. Those things happened. All right. It tore up my sister-in-law. All right. It really took it hard. My wife, of course, took it hard because it's her mother. All right. These are things that happen. There's not much you can really do, when life deals with those kinds of cards, and you can only make the best of it, right?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of other experience aside from than my formative ones, which basically soldier on. I mean, I hate to say that, but your experiences in life, dictate how you handle these things, and that's all I can say. And it's for me to say it, right? I can talk about it from my perspective. I can't talk about it from somebody else who has a totally different life experience and has total different viewpoints of things. I don't I don't tell people, like, I guess there was some recent thing that somebody did a study right? And about depression, and they found that in this study, if they got the person who had depression and they put them to work out, right, and had them start going to the gym regularly and working out and becoming physically fit and physically active, that it lessened the depression, even up to the point where they no longer needed meds anymore, right?
Because they had something to do. Their brain was constantly active.
Yep.
Well, see, I find that hard to believe only because when you're lifting weights, you're concentrating on the weights, but to be honest, you're also bored because you're just moving your body. You're thinking about, at least me. I mean, that's what I was always doing. When I was lifting weights, I'm always thinking of other things while I was lifting, right?
The idea would be is that you're actually focusing on getting better, and you're not allowing yourself to be affected by the depression. Plus, of course, the getting fitter will actually cause your body to kick out, I think it's endorphins, which
probably
help immensely.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's physical reasons and so forth that this is the case, but by the same token, that doesn't mean it's a cure all.
No.
Right, and that's what I was going with, because some idiot on Twitter said something like that. If you're depressed, go work out. You can stop and then you can stop taking the drugs. No, there's a reason why the doctors are prescribing this to you, and if the reason is because the doctors are making a kickback, find another doctor.
MC, Nomad. Let's put it this way, okay? One time with my depression, I told the doctor how bad I was feeling, and the genius that he was turned around and said, clap your hands 30 times a day, it'll make you feel better. I like the silence.
Really?
I wasn't paying attention.
That's understandable, hon, but yeah, 30 times a day. I mean, I'm looking at them and I'm waiting. Any minute they're going to laugh because I'm thinking they're just trolling. No, they were actually serious. They believe that if you clap your hands 30 times a day, it will help you deal with depression. Sure.
Oh, you're talking about the retards.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'll be honest with you, that would cause a very adverse reaction, in my opinion, to me, right? if I had been given that kind of advice, and I don't think people would have liked the results of that adverse reaction.
I totally understand. I was rather confused myself.
I think
Let's be retarded.
That's unbelievable to me. I mean, well, not really, because there are bad people in the world. There are bad doctors out there.
Yeah.
Right? And that's something that I don't think I can ever relay to someone like CSG, right? Is you know as well as you after being in the military understand that that because the military is very good at expressing this to you, is the fact that just because you are in authority doesn't mean anything. just because you have stars on your collar doesn't make you smart, doesn't make you a good leader, doesn't make you anything aside from the fact that you've achieved the status of general, right?
It's one thing, yeah. It's a good job Shiraz is not reading chat. There could be a reaction drop. Oh dear.
Okay. The reason I'm
saying, you know damn well I'm too damn skinny.
I know.
Be considered fat.
The reason I put that out there is I apply that across the board, right? Any authority figure falls into that category with me now, right? Just because you're an authority figure, just because you're supposed to be an authority, all right, or an academic, okay, that means nothing to me.
Yep.
Okay. If you come back and tell me that you're a police officer or a police chief, that means nothing to me. All right, as far as how good you are at your job. Yes, you have authority in a certain section, and I won't necessarily argue with you about it, but that doesn't mean I'm going to believe what you're saying about that, because I don't know if you're a freaking moron or not, because I've met too many of them. I've met too many people that were in authority that were just absolutely. You're going to get people killed because you're just stupid.
I've got to say, I actually assume that they're morons and allow them to try and prove me wrong.
And that's a sane way of approaching this. This is the point, right? That's the better way of keeping yourself out of trouble as well. Is just assume that they're morons and stay away from them so that they don't interfere with you, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that I think that everyone is wrong, right? But I hold a lot of people in authority with disdain, even to this day, simply from the fact of I've seen too much. I've seen great commanders. Don't get me wrong. I've seen some really good commanders, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen too many bad ones though to assume that you're a good commander out of the box, right? I've seen too many bad ones. I've seen too many bad people who rely upon their rank, that rely upon the fact that, look, I'm an authority figure. You have to listen to me. No, I don't. Okay.
No.
Right. I don't have to listen to you. Right. No, I might have to deal with the consequences of doing that. Right. But I don't have to listen to you. That goes for everything. Okay. That goes for a police officer too. I don't have to listen to you. Right. Now, I might deal with the consequences. I may get a freaking baton upside the head because, as a consequence of not listening to you, right? But I don't have to listen to you. The most you could do to me, quite frankly, is kill me. That's the most, right? I'm not saying I want to die, okay?
No.
I'm not saying that I don't fear death, because to an extent I do, all right?
Mm-hmm.
But it isn't the overriding concern in my worldview of things necessarily, right? It's going to be a balancing act to see whether or not I sit up there and go, okay, am I going to risk it or not, right? And that's how I approach things. It's I got asked this by another friend. I got into an argument with him about the police.
You got into an argument with someone? Yes.
Does this surprise you? This is somebody who actually is more conspiracy theory oriented than I am, to be honest. I mean,
there's another one.
Oh, it's much worse than what you think.
Right? Oh, dear God.
And we were arguing about the police, and his comment was, we got into talking about society and innocent people. He goes, there's never an excuse for an innocent person to go to prison. And I said, yes, there is.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked at me and he's like, what are you talking about? I said, you're assuming perfection.
Yep.
You're assuming perfection is achievable. It's not. You know that when humans are involved in this, no matter what you put there, that no matter what the system is it's going to be corrupted by humans because a human is involved. Yep. That's reality. Okay, if you want to talk about the fact that this person shouldn't be on death row, okay, I understand that. Well, that never should happen. What do you mean it should never happen? It's going to happen. Well, if you had these other processes, it wouldn't happen. Sure, if your process is to eliminate death row and eliminate arresting people, you're right. How well is that going to work? Well, I'm not talking about that. That's you're being hyperbolic. I said, no, I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm trying to put a point to this, which is, okay, you're somewhere in the middle, but you have to accept as soon as if you don't want an innocent person arrested, then you can't arrest anybody, because I guarantee you, at some point in time, an innocent person is going to be arrested.
Yep.
You can't. See, I can't get on the whole get rid of death row thing. That I want to bring it back. Bring back death row. Get rid of the fucking morons that they let out of all these prisons during the coup.
Oh well,
Yeah.
that's a bad issue in and of itself. But I personally think, I mean, I have huge problems with the judicial system as it is. Tell me why you're not going to court 30 days after being arrested. Okay,
Right.
if you get arrested for a crime and you're being charged with a crime, why is it that you're not on trial until half a year to a year later? That's unacceptable, right?
Yeah.
How is that? How does that happen? Well, it happens because
You know,
there's too many.
you're entitled to a speedy trial.
Well, it happens because these people
But
are
it doesn't
overpaid
happen.
and inefficient. Let's be perfectly frank here. You can't tell me these judges, right, are overworked.
That's for damn sure.
Okay, I don't. I hear this all the time. Oh, you don't understand the number of cases they got to do. Really? Right? I can go to a court system and show you how many times they go. Okay, we'll put this off and we'll do another hearing on this date. They don't have to do that. Okay, they don't have to sit up there and go. Let's do a hearing another day. They can decide right then and there. Boom, let's go, and leave it up to the appellate courts. All right, which is what they're there for. All right, to work on those friggin' issues. That's a problem that we have in the court system, and I think that's not just the United States. I think that also applies to you guys, right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's the same. It's like you guys act like you guys are so busy. No, you could make a ruling. Well, I got to investigate all this, and I got to read my law book, right? When you're going back there picking up your freaking Playboy magazine and whacking off to it, probably, right?
Wait, they still make Playboy magazines?
Yeah.
I assume they do. I'll be honest with you. I haven't gone in there looking for
I thought
one.
that died when Pornhub came out.
And it just got bought up as part of it, didn't it?
I don't know. I've never. I haven't been really looking for them or looking for any kind of men's magazines in the stores. I guess I could go look and find out. now she makes me wonder if I'm going to have to go to the store when I go to the store and look around for it, right? Just to see
I
what's
want to
out
see
there.
you make that excuse. Oh, I'm just doing it for research, dear. I'm not doing it for myself. That's gonna cut a whole lot of ice, and you know it.
That'll never fly. I mean, wife doesn't believe you anyway with anything you do.
Fair point. Fair point.
Right? So, I'm not going to say that didn't affect the fact that I don't bother looking for those magazines. Right? My wife could very well have beaten me down to the point where I don't look for those magazines. Not that I remember when I was doing it. Then again, that could be the brain damage. Right? I mean, it's just the way it is.
Maybe she just needs to hit you in the head with a pan again.
Notice the again, ladies and gentlemen. Notice the again.
My wife has never successfully hit me with a pan.
That's because you're good at dodging.
That's very true.
Perhaps a tea kettle? Or if she brought over a coffee pot.
No, my wife is not a good aim. You gotta understand this.
That's why I suggested perhaps she bring over a coffee pot. At least then you'll let her get close enough to you.
No.
Yeah, she won't damage the coffee.
Yes, she would. All right.
Ooh.
When she's at the point where she's mad, whatever's in her hand is an implement of destruction. Right.
Do not underestimate the female's rage.
Right.
Oh, I know.
Would you really push the button? Anything that's in their hands at that point or in the vicinity is a possible, flying projectile, right? It doesn't even matter if it's like if there's no difference between like a water balloon, right, or her freaking most prized freaking camera, right, monitors.
Yeah.
Pencils, chalk, candles, bottles.
Plate of spaghetti. I mean, these are all implements of destruction at that point. Now, The worst part about it is when your wife flings a plate of spaghetti at you and you, of course, dodge and it hits the ground and the spaghetti everywhere. And your first reaction, being the dumb male that you are, is to laugh about it. Yeah. That is at that point.
That's a suicide right there.
Just make a mess.
Yeah.
At that point, you're like, time to leave the house.
Even though it's her fault and she made the mess, did you just make me make a mess? How dare you!
Oh, she's never going to admit that she did it. You made the mess because you got out of the way.
If she's a woman of honor, she'll admit that she made the mess, but you made her make the mess.
2 weeks later, maybe. You don't bring that up for a couple weeks until it's like, okay, it's just...
Nah.
Has the connection completely ended, or is it still twitching in there? Just kind of wondering.
Oh, it'll last for a while, and she'll bring it up forever.
Oh,
now, where did I put that tranquilizer gun? Just saying.
I've often wondered how well those things would work on an angry woman. I'm not really sure that it would.
You know, angry. Bring it up forever, and...
Well... The worst part about that is my wife is one of those people who, for whatever reason, morphine has no effect on. Okay.
What has no effect?
Morphine.
Morph.
Huh.
All right.
Yeah.
And so, in that case, I don't think a tranquilizer dart's going to do a whole lot. Maybe there's another drug that'll knock her out, but it ain't morphine. The doctor, I mean, she had a...
Dry narco?
She had a...
or Norco, whatever the hell it's called?
I don't know. She had a blood clot in her arm, all right, that they were going to do surgery and stuff for and so forth. And they basically ended up with just a local... whatever local they used, because when they initially gave her morphine for the pain and everything, she's like, when are you going to give me the morphine? They were like,
yeah,
we'll give you the maximum dosage. And she's like, okay. And then they were like, she's not being affected. And the doctor's like, don't give her any more. I mean, obviously at some point it would have an effect, but at that point it is okay. The effect is we killed you with it. All right, so...
Yeah, it could be argued that did stop the pain. Just saying.
Yeah, but I don't want a dead wife. I wasn't looking forward to that. But
fair point.
So, but eventually but she does not... They put that in her thing, that she can't have any morphine or anything like that, because she's basically immune to it. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, which is good, because that means as far as that type of opiate getting her hooked, she's never going to become hooked, because there's no reason to take it. If it's not going to have an effect.
So, can't really argue that.
I don't know. I kind of hope it's genetic with my kids.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to worry about them getting high off of stupid pain pills.
Yeah, basically. I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of like that myself, because pain pills that I've taken that for a variety of different ailments, right, have never, ever affected the pain. Okay? They've affected my attitude toward things, right? And they've affected my brain, right, into the point where, okay, but they've never fixed the pain. They've never lessened the pain or made the pain go away. I can still feel the pain. It's still annoying me, right? They gave me Valium one time, and I was like, take these Valiums. I was expecting it to just make me like, cool, everything's great, man, and I won't be in pain. I'll just... Dude, I just stood there and go, I'm still in pain. What's this stuff supposed to do? Well, it's supposed to relax you. Does it look like I'm relaxed? No, that might be, like I said, that might be a me problem. Right? Because my attitude is like, does it look like I'm relaxed? And that was my attitude.
I don't take anything stronger than Motrin 800.
So the next thing they gave me was something called Indocin, right, which is supposed to be a pain reliever, and all that did was make it so that I was incoherent. Okay, it's not that I didn't know that I was in pain or anything else, but if I tried to talk to somebody, I'd be like, what the hell?
Say it, Shirati. Don't say it. I know you're thinking it, but don't say it.
That's my normal speech pattern.
What, that he was a babbling buffoon even more so than what he already is?
Oh, well, she said it.
Yeah, I was at a training meeting with the commander, and at one point I was reading a slide, and I went, yeah. The commander looked at me. He goes, "Are you doing drugs?" I said, "Yeah, I'm taking these things." He said, "Okay, when this meeting's over, you just go back home and sleep it off." So don't come back while you're taking those things. I was like, "Yeah," but I mean, I was aware of anything, and like I said, it didn't lessen the pain, right?
No.
And at the time, I was having back seizures, right? Which is kind of odd. I don't know why all of a sudden because it hasn't happened since then, really, right? But I can tell you this: people that come back and complain about back pain, I fully understand why they. Oh, yeah. Because it is unbelievable when my back seized. I was like, "Holy crap!" And like I said, it came out of nowhere. There was nothing that I know of that caused it. Whatever caused it, though, that back spasm that I had, it took about a week and a half, 2 weeks for it to go away, right? And it was.
Yeah.
So you understand the woman's plight with tits now?
No. Do I have breasts? No. I'm sorry. All right.
Well, then get some. And wear them for a while.
So now,
you can order them online. I guarantee it.
You think that you're trying to suggest to me to transition?
Yes.
That is not ever going to happen.
No, I'm not suggesting to transition. I'm suggesting you order tits and wear them for a while.
Why?
So that you can understand a woman's plight that we heard.
At what point do you think I care?
I was waiting for that
bit. I can't fix it. So you're in pain.
No, you can't.
This is the problem with women.
Actually,
they want commiseration. And guys are like, can I fix it? No.
Actually,
sorry.
You're wrong.
It would give you something to play with.
He can fix it, but you guys get upset when we start coming towards you with chainsaws. Apparently, it upsets women.
There's not a guy in the world that's going to walk up to, not a guy who's in his right mind, that's going to walk up to a woman and try and cut off her breasts. Let's be honest.
This is
Jenson.
Also, if you ordered a pair of breasts, it'd give you something to play with.
This is also true.
Now, we started this conversation going on down this completely track with Playboy magazines. If I'm avoiding even looking at Playboy magazines, what would my wife say? All right, with a and believe it or not, at one point in my career after leaving the military, I had a fake breast that we needed to carry with us so that we could demonstrate the insertion of needles into the breast for breast treatments. So I had a breast. Okay.
Okay.
Now, even when you explain this to the wife, when she saw it the first time, it took a few weeks before she realized, no, this is not he's not going out of there playing around with some stupid toy. Right? This is really the job. Because you had to, in order to put these implants in, you basically drive a needle all the way through the breast, right?
Yeah.
And then you have to seal the needle specifically in a specific way so that it doesn't move, all right?
Yeah.
While it's there. And the reason for that is where you're going to use the radiation treatment is reliant upon that implant not moving vis-a-vis the tumor volume. Does that make sense? Or area of treatment. In most cases, women with fairly large, I shouldn't say fairly large breasts, but medium to large breasts, right, will have a lumpectomy done, and then what they'll want to do is treat the cavity, all right, with radiation. All right, and there's several different techniques, one of which is a single treatment, but the one that the doctors mostly recommend is like a 5-day treatment, right? So once you put the implants in, they're in there for 5 days, they go through five treatments, right? And then they remove everything, right? It's just one of the many treatments that your doctor may recommend with cancer treatments. Now, that works fairly well. I mean, it's very effective. It's if from an efficacious point of how many people live and so forth, and remission and all that. It's shown to be very, very effective. Okay, but that doesn't mean it's perfect. Number one, and that number two, that doesn't mean all women are candidates for it. Okay,
Sure.
Some women have small breasts, and women with small breasts are not candidates for some of these radiation treatments, even with a lumpectomy, because the breast is too small, and the damage that would be done to the surface tissue would be too great, right? And there's no way around that. The breast is just too small to absorb the radiation without excessive damage. But I mean, people read these things, and I encourage people to read and become not just read, become knowledgeable, understand it, or try to gain a full understanding. Don't make it an assumption that I read about this new medical treatment. Okay, you can read about the new medical treatment, but find out if you think that you're a candidate for it. Find out more about it. Don't just sit up there and go, "Hey, this article's told me this, and this is what I want." Okay.
Yeah.
Go there and do enough. Talk to your doctor. Do some research on this so that you understand. Because no matter what treatment you're talking about, whatever treatment it is, right, from a doctor, there's going to be pluses and minuses. All right, that's the nature of medicine. There's going to be positive things and negative things. One of the advantages of being a cyborg.
No, reading about it.
See, she's looking for the
pluses and the minuses.
Well, I mean, they recently just transplanted a pig heart into a guy.
Yeah.
All right, that was genetically modified. It's an interesting concept. I hope it works for this guy. I really do. Not just because I wish the best for this guy, because I do wish the best for him, right? And not just because of the hope that it gives everybody else, right? But also because it means we've gone past a major hurdle toward all sorts of diseases. If this guy, if everything looks good here and he lives a long life, 30 years or however many years he's got left. I mean, he's in his 50s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully he'll live for another 30 years, right? Without any heart rejection, without any rejection whatsoever, because it means then that we're well on the way of being able to, certain organs in your body will not regenerate. Pancreas is one of them. The heart is one of them. Okay? There's certain organs that won't regenerate. Some organs will, believe it or not.
By the way, I actually thought that when you was describing about this pig, you was going to turn around and say, "Finally, we found another use of pigs." Just saying.
Now, there is a person who came back and said, "There goes, okay, does that mean he's not kosher?" What does it? Is it going to be an exclusionary thing for Jews? I mean, the guy was going on. I was like, oh my god.
What if it was a vegan that needed that heart?
Oh, here's a mental image for you guys. Imagine this. What you do is as a vampire, you hunt down vegans and infect them. Just take that as a mental image and giggle for an idiot. Seriously, that is just hilarious. Vegan vampires. Yes.
Well, I could have had a V8. Sorry. Most of you probably don't get that joke. There used to be a commercial where a person sits there and slaps their head. I could have had a V8 was a type of tomato juice. Right?
All right.
It's
okay.
It's an old commercial.
Was a while ago.
It was, but it's one of the ones that sticks in my brain. Even to this day. But but as far as that goes, that is a good question though, Charlie. Though, what will a vegan do? What will somebody who's what will tell me? Tell me, PETA person, any PETA person that's out there, not right. If it's a choice between you or the pig, are you letting the pig live? Because he's going to be bacon one way or another. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. He's going to be a sandwich whether you like it or not. For somebody, right? He's going to the BLT.
Well, so you have a new heart. Here's a bacon sandwich. Mm-hmm.
I agree. As Mr. Nomad asks, peanut person, vegan, whatever the hell you want to call yourself, would you die because your heart is failing, or would you take the pig's heart?
Something to actually ask, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, it means that we're getting closer to actual cloning, also to cloning organs, and that's the ultimate goal, right?
That's a scary thought.
Being able to clone an organ, but by itself, not clone a person, cloning an organ, right?
Yeah.
Say, okay,
that's a scary thought.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But it would be that would save so many lives, right? Because you wouldn't have to worry about rejection, right?
Yeah.
Tissue mapping, matching, and all the rest of that. You would have. Let me phrase that. You would have less to worry about rejection. You'd be less likely to reject.
You know that they're trying to do 3D printing of organs, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Just check.
Well, they're already 3D printing meat and trying to sell it.
True.
When they 3D print the lobster thermidor, let me know though. not that I actually care for lobster, but the reason I say the less likely rejection is it doesn't fix autoimmune diseases. Let's be honest.
No.
Right? And autoimmune diseases exist in more people than most people even understand. For example, any of your relatives, your elderly relatives that have rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. Okay? Understand that it's the body's reaction to itself that's creating these lesions, that's creating the nodes on the body. Okay?
Oh.
So in a way the body is attacking itself. That's what rheumatoid arthritis is. Right? So no matter what you do at that point, if somebody has rheumatoid arthritis, there's a reason why they don't just go in there and do surgery and knock the nodules down. Because they'll come right back. Right? Right? That and the fact that for when they're on your fingers and your hands on the joints, the kind of surgery you have to do is very delicate. So, right?
Yeah.
How many people are going to be able to do that? Right. It's not something that's going to be.
I know 3 people with autoimmune diseases, but I didn't know it was an autoimmune disease.
No, did I?
Yeah, it's called Graves' disease. I know it was a thyroid disease.
Yeah, that's another one. That is another one. It's there are more. I mean, when I first heard about autoimmune diseases, the only one I even knew about was lupus. Right, but lupus is rare. Okay, Lupus is fairly rare, and it's devastating. Lupus, for those people who don't know, lupus is devastating. Absolutely devastating on people, right? Because it affects the organs, it affects the entire endocrine system, right? I mean, it's just lupus. If we could find a cure for lupus, that would be good. That'd be phenomenal, right? Um, we have ways of treating it now that we didn't before, right? So we can extend life and improve quality of life for people who have lupus, but we still can't cure it really.
No.
It is what it is, unfortunately, right? There's many things that we can now treat, all right, but that doesn't mean we can cure. Okay,
yeah, oh yeah.
That's just the way this way.
I understand the difference.
Yeah, it's the way medicine is. But if you can, but if we get to the point where we can print your heart, for example, with your own genetic material.
Yeah.
People don't understand this, but if you have a heart attack, some of your tissue of your heart has been damaged. Okay.
Yes.
And it doesn't grow back. It doesn't replace itself. All right. It doesn't mean that the body can't compensate for it, but the body doesn't necessarily replace it. Okay. Well, if you could 3D print the heart, then we can. Right.
Yep.
I mean, it gives you hope, right? Spinal column injuries, same thing. Now, I have a feeling that when it comes to like spinal column injuries and stuff, even if we can replace the spinal column and get to the point where we can replace it, it's still going to require a lot of physical therapy to get a person back to where they were.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because I mean, it's like people who had strokes, right? And they lose the ability to move a body part. Eventually, they can regain that movement, but it requires the body to rewire itself to do it. And I think the same thing would apply to a spinal cord injury as well. If you want to walk again, you're basically going to have to work at it, all right, every day for a long time, and it's going to be, trying to relearn again, like a child does, right? Learning how to walk you're going to have to go through that entire process. As if first you got to be able to get on your knees, then you got to be able to stand, then you got to be able to that entire thing is going to have to take place. That entire learning curve that your body goes through is going to have to take place. But it's it's on the horizon. You can see, it's there. The possibilities exist. The possibilities of that happening are there. You can see where the technology is going in that direction. Right? Whether or not we actually get there, because we've encountered, I can say this as well. We expected to be much further along in that regard than we are.
Oh yeah.
And the reason for it is our optimism. We were overly optimistic how easy this would be once we started learning certain technologies. Just because we have certain technologies to create cloning didn't fix some of the other challenges. And what's more is it didn't. There are things that we didn't expect to happen that have now become, so we got to deal with this now, but we didn't know we had to deal with that before. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, how about that?
Is he still on his crusade?
No. We're currently using people for spare body parts.
Oh yeah.
Well, kind of hard. At least that's what I'm going with.
Using pigs.
We did.
I did.
We were talking about people that had pig hearts. Yes.
Yes.
Right.
And wondering if vegans would take a pig heart over waiting for theirs to fail.
If they're true to their principles, they shouldn't.
True.
But I'm going to die versus the poor suffering animals. Guess which is going to win out?
It's burger time. Yep.
I'm not joking, MC.
No?
I know. I don't blame you. I mean, Wilbur's on his way to become bacon anyway, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. And if
So,
you think about it, okay, technically, if you've got your heart replaced, there's a good chance that they've cleared out some of the cholesterol in the blood. So you may as well have that pig burger.
That's
You
it.
know,
How do you know you're getting your heart replaced? Why don't you just take yours up, clean it up, and put it back?
that is actually a disturbing possibility. Wow, could you imagine that as a job?
This is why research into cloning should not be hindered as much as it is. Yes, there should be controls on it, but it shouldn't be hindered nearly as much as it is. Imagine if you need a heart replacement, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they can take a sample of your DNA, right?
Yep.
They can clone specific body parts.
Yeah.
Right? You can grow a healthy heart with your DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Transplant it. No rejection.
Yeah.
well,
By the way,
less chance of rejection. Yes.
No rejection, because it's the same DNA. Your body will recognize it as your own.
I understand that aspect of it, but the fact of an autoimmune response can still happen. All right. Just because of that, it's not. It's much less. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, the blood tissue typing and things like that are not normal.
That's another thing. If you can do that, if your research has done that, you can set it up so that it won't trigger the autoimmune response.
No, that's a bit of wishful thinking, to be honest.
No, it isn't.
Because we don't know, because we don't have a good enough handle on the autoimmune. For example, I was telling these guys this. All right, most people don't know this.
Hold on. We know enough that we can make drugs that suppress it.
For a period, right? For a time period.
Yeah, for the time you're taking the drugs.
No, there are times when it wears off.
Right? Yeah, that's when the dosage of the drug you're taking wears off. Yes.
No. Your body will adjust to the dosage, okay, and what unfortunately becomes kind of a circular kind of a thing. But autoimmune. Many people don't understand the autoimmune response. There's many more autoimmune diseases out there than people realize. And for example, rheumatoid arthritis is one of them. If we knew how to stop the autoimmune response, we could stop rheumatoid arthritis. We can't stop rheumatoid arthritis. We can treat it temporarily.
Actually, you're wrong there. Have you noticed none of the super rich get rheumatoid arthritis? Just saying.
Who says? I've seen plenty of elderly celebrities with rheumatoid arthritis.
They're not the super rich. They're just the very wealthy. Seriously,
I haven't seen many of the quote unquote super rich. Then, all right. I mean, that's
you've never seen it. I don't think any of us have actually seen any of the super rich. The top 1%.
Yeah, I've never met one. Have you? Honestly, I've never met somebody that's in the top.
I can't say I'm sworn to secrecy.
Ah, okay. So that's where this is. Batman's bragging again, the bastard.
I can't say I'm sworn to secrecy. No, I mean,
see what happens when you're fans of soup. Right, when you're friends of Superman, these are these advantages that you get.
Yeah, he thinks we are. Fucking alien. No, seriously. Fucking space back.
So what's your opinion on Superman getting raped by humans?
Wait for that. One bet?
No, that never happened. I haven't read it, therefore it never happened. Just like Highlander 2 never happened. It's bollocks. It's the emasculation of a male icon, basically. It's more of the SJW shit. It's why Bruce Wayne lost his fortune and I believe is either homeless or something. And there's a black guy who's now Batman.
Oh, really? I didn't know that happened. Not that I care about that a black guy plays Batman, to be honest.
And Tim Drake is bi. No, I want to vote in the comics.
Or that, I wouldn't. I mean, I don't care.
Okay then, MC. Let's do a bit of a race and gender swapping on somebody you do care about.
No, I think it's wrong. Don't misunderstand me. I agree that it's totally wrong to do that kind of stuff. But
no, it's not. No, this is all fair. No, we're going to get RuPaul to play George Washington.
Who's RuPaul?
I'm gonna kill you.
I don't know who this person is.
I'm gonna fucking kill you. RuPaul is one of the biggest drag queens in the country currently.
I didn't know who that was.
She is the drag queen.
If RuPaul did the 100 meters, that would be a drag. Shirati. If RuPaul did the 100 meters, that would be a drag race.
I was thinking about going on Google and looking this person up, but now I'm even terrified of doing that.
Okay, if you take my advice on absolutely nothing, don't look.
If flamboyant was a definition, RuPaul would be under the fucking word.
Elton John look tame. In fact, RuPaul was Elton John's date to one of the music awards.
Wow.
Yeah, because he made a catty remark about Paulie Yates' dress. I remember that, mainly for that bit.
Okay.
Interesting. Okay. All right. No. But no, I agree with you, Batman, that they shouldn't be changing the established characters. What I was trying to say was if you have a character, all right, that's already been established, leave it alone. If you want to create a new character, I don't care what color they are. I don't care what their background is. All right.
They only do this because they know that the type of character they want to create would not stand. It would crash and burn very quickly. So they steal and establish characters.
That's very true.
Brand recognition.
Yeah.
Not if the character actually had a good story behind it. Yeah, if they could actually create a story, which none of them can write, none of them can create anything worth a fucking damn because none of them can write.
That's basically what I just said.
We actually agree with you, Shrati.
I think it also is the fact that a lot of what they have in their minds as a character.
I know what they've got. Fluff.
Well, yeah. Well, no, I don't. It's hard to disagree with that. But what they have in mind for the character as being the heroic character can't exist because it's too far out of the believability range, right?
Yeah.
And so there's one thing to sit up there and this becomes somewhat problematic in a way because the old way of looking at Superman, the old way of looking at Superman, for example, has changed. Okay, a lot of people got upset with Superman in the 1970s and the 1980s that fell out of favor because to them it was the Superman's goodness and righteousness and outstanding part was not believable to them anymore.
It wasn't that. It was because you're about pre-crisis Superman there, right? And he fell out of favour and people got bored of him because he literally was too powerful.
Oh, the being OP, yes, that's very true.
And unfortunately, the writers that were working on his books weren't good enough to handle it. I mean, that level Superman was there. He could have gone up against Q from Star Trek The Next Generation and won.
Yeah. Unfortunately, you're right.
Thus, the colored kryptonites come out.
The colored kryptonites came out in the 60s.
I thought it was the 70s.
No, it was the 60s. Even pink kryptonite.
Pink?
And yes, pink
kryptonite.
Yes, pink kryptonite. What made him gay?
Well, it didn't actually make him gay. It just made Kryptonians act stereotypically gay.
By the way, has anyone actually noticed that Nomad is slowly rotating our icons round and round and round? It's kind of funny. Just saying.
Are you still live? Are you?
I'm not paying attention to this thing.
He's right.
Oh, crap, it's still live.
I was doing that. Now I'm rearranging them all over.
I wasn't paying attention.
Great on top of Sharati. Where? No, I'm not.
Oh, now you're on top of me.
Oh, look, are you playing Tetris?
Yeah.
You realise that with your political, social and cultural views, Nomad, you shouldn't be playing Tetris because it's a Russian game.
It beat Russia. You gotta beat the Russians at their own game.
Yeah, but you can't.
I didn't say that I was good at
Tetris is fun. Puzzles
You're not trying hard enough.
All the puzzles.
No. The only way you can beat a Russian at their own game is if you can drink 7 gallons of vodka and still walk straight.
No, I can't drink a bottle of vodka and walk straight.
Jenson can't drink a bottle of water and walk straight.
I can't walk straight, so I'm not going to really argue that statement. But what I will do, people, guys, I'm actually going to bring it to an end here. Thank you for coming on, everybody. That's actually very nice of you. And anyone who's actually... Oh, my God, Sean's still listening. You look after yourself, geezer. I'll speak to you later, mate. Bye-bye, everyone.
We've been going on for so... Oh, Sean. Kryptonite of color.
Yep.
Kryptonite lives matter. Kryptonite doesn't have a life.